Live on a Friday night, it's Utah Grizzlies hockey, as it's the second of a three-game series, and it's the fifth straight meeting as the Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Utah Grizzlies hockey. Well, Utah has certainly gotten a little bit tired of seeing the Allen Americans on the schedule. It's the fifth of six straight meetings between the clubs over a two-week stretch. And for the Grizzlies, they're looking for a little bit of revenge, as on Wednesday morning, the Allen Americans got 3 goals from Hank Crone. And even though Utah outshot Allen by a pretty wide margin, 47-25, including 20 shots in the third period, all the Grizzlies could get was a first period goal from Jack Ricketts and a third period goal from Neil Shea. And the Americans came away with a 3-2 victory as Allen goaltender David Tendek stopped 45 of 47. Kyle Kaiser in net for the Grizzlies on Wednesday. He saved 22 of 25. Kaiser yesterday was called back up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles as Scott Wedgwood is day-to-day, the Colorado Avalanche goaltender. And so with that, Trent Miner went up to the Avalanche, and Kaiser moved up to the Colorado Eagles. So Dylan Wells will get the start in net, and he'll have an emergency backup for him this evening. Grizzlies are looking to get back to the 500 mark on the season. They are 8-9-2. They have had a lot of success on the road. They are 6-4-1 on the road. Oddly enough, across the league, road teams have won more games than home teams. In fact, across the entire league, the ECHL on the road has a .518 winning percentage and a .623 point percentage this season. Obviously, with the point percentage, you include those games you lost in either overtime or a shootout. Well, it is a Friday, and the Grizzlies have been pretty successful on Fridays this year. They are 4-2-1 in everybody's favorite day of the week. So we'll see what happens here this evening. The Grizzlies have gotten a ton of shots against Allen this season. In 4 games against the Americans, Utah has taken 150 shots. That's an average of 37.5 per game. We'll come back and talk some more hockey on the other side as we're in business on a Friday night, and you're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Face-offs in about 17 minutes from now, 6:10 here in the Mountain Time Zone and 7:10 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. I'm hanging out at a dark and dreary Maverick Center. It was a very cloudy and cold day here up and down the Wasatch Front. Here the temperatures were in the low 50s in the Lone Star State. Well, for the Grizzlies, they're looking to get the power play back on track. They were 0 for 4 on the power play on Wednesday morning. In the 3-2 loss to the Allen Americans, Grizzlies did have a successful day on the penalty kill, though. They were a perfect 3 for 3 on the PK. Utah does have a power play goal in 10 of their last 13 games. On Wednesday morning, the Grizzlies took a 1-0 lead as Jack Ricketts scored 9:59 into the contest, with Maxim Barbashev getting the assist. Ricketts has a point in 5 straight games, and he has 8 points, 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 5 contests. Now, how about Maxim Barbashev? He's made a physical impact on the Grizzlies. He has 2 assists in 3 games in a Utah uniform. And then it turned into the Hank Crone show, and you got to believe that on Kids Day over on Wednesday morning with a bunch of 5th and 6th graders, looked like there were some junior high kids in the arena as well. The guy wearing jersey number 6-7 comes away with 3 goals. Hank Crone had 1 goal in the first period and 2 more in the second. He completed the hat trick. 16:36 into the second period, and that gave Allen a 3-1 lead. And then even though the Grizzlies had 20 shots in the third period, they outshot the Americans 20-6 in the third frame. They just couldn't get anything past David Tendek, who's done a great job for the Americans. Neil Shea did score a 6-on-5 goal with 37 seconds left in regulation. Utah's net was empty at the time. John Gillette and Danny Genev each picked up an assist, and then the Grizzlies just ran out of time as they were searching for the tying goal, and Allen came away with a 3-2 victory. The shot count has certainly been interesting. The Grizzlies have taken 150 shots over a 4-game stretch against the Allen Americans, and Utah has outshot Allen in 3 of the 4 games this season. In fact, if you're looking at Allen's shot total, they've taken far less than 150. They had 30 shots on November 26th, another 15 on November 28th, 22 shots last Saturday at Maverick Center, and a Grizzlies 3-2 victory, and 25 shots in last night's game. So we'll see. We'll do some math on the air. They tell you not to do math on the air, but nevertheless, my current high education says that that's 92 shots in 4 games, an average of 23 shots. So the Grizzlies, on average, are taking 14 and a half more shots than the Allen Americans per game head-to-head this season. Well, it'll be interesting to see if the Grizzlies not only can get a quantity of shots, but maybe they can get a high quality this evening against the Allen Americans. A couple of players who have been hot for the Grizzlies as of late. You got to look at Reed Webster, leads Utah with 9 goals, and he has 3 game winners, including last Saturday, late in the third period. It was with about a minute and a half left in regulation. He was all up in Tendek's business. Allen wanted goaltender interference, and even though Webster got extremely close to the Allen goaltender, he didn't make any contact, and Shea took the initial shot, and then Webster got the rebound and put it away, and the Grizzlies held on for a 3-2 victory. That's the lone win the Utah has against Allen this season. The Grizzlies are going to be looking to find a way to, get back on the winning note. I mentioned the power play needed to get back on track. Utah does have a power play goal in 10 of their last 13 games, but the Grizzlies only have 1 power play goal against Allen this season. In fact, they are 1 for 15 on the power play goal against the Americans this year, but Utah's penalty kill has certainly been pretty strong, as Utah does have 9 successful penalty kills, 9 of 11 against Allen so far this season. So it should be an interesting one. We'll keep an eye on the special teams, even though it seems like, it is a different referee tonight, but it seems like most of the referees in this league will let them play for the most part. Grant Hendrick is the referee. It's the first time he's officiated a Grizzly game this season. We'll come back and talk some more hockey on the other side. You're tuned in to the Utah Grizzlies pregame report on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Welcome back to Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting. One of the things to watch out for the Grizzlies have been all their successful rookies this year. Aiden Hansen-Bukata is tied for the league lead among rookies with 5 power play assists, and he's tied for 4th with 5 power play points. Danny Genev has been outstanding for the Grizzlies. He is 2nd among rookies with 64 shots on goal, and he is tied for 5th among all-league rookies with 14 points, 5 goals, and 9 assists. Now about Jack Ricketts. He is 4th among league rookies with 15 points, 8 goals, and 7 assists. Ricketts is tied for 2nd among league rookies with 8 goals. And it goes beyond those 3 guys, as Colby Enns has had a solid first pro campaign. He leads all Grizzly defensemen in plus-minus. Also, in his first full season as a pro, Evan Frieson's been solid, 2 goals and 3 assists in 19 games. And how about Sage Weinstein? He's certainly built a lot of confidence over the last couple weeks. Weinstein is a +4 in his last 7 games. John Gillette has certainly made an impact. He had a late third period assist on Wednesday. Other first-year pros, Christoph Filion, he has 1 goal in 6 games. He scored the game winner over in Tulsa a couple weeks ago. And obviously, Genev, Jack Ricketts been outstanding. Christian Felton is listed as a rookie, even though he did play in 20 games combined with the AHL and ECHL last season. And Maxime Barbashev's in his second year as a pro. So the Grizzlies have had quite a few contributions from rookies so far this season. That's been a big part to their development. And for the Grizzlies, they're hoping that those rookies can continue to get the job done. And that's one of the more fun things year in and year out, is to see the improvement of the Grizzly defensemen. And that's certainly something that we're going to see throughout the year, as the Grizzlies do have a talented but somewhat young defensive core. And unfortunately, one of those first-year pros, Connor Kelly, had a lower body injury. He has been recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles, mostly to rehab, as he looks like he's going to be out for quite some time. He got injured last week against the Allen Americans. I believe, if I remember right, that was last Friday. But the Grizzlies did get Avery Winslow back on Wednesday morning. It's his second game back and 6th overall this season. When we come back to the Grizzlies pregame report, we'll go over the lineups for both teams. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. Let's go over the lineups for both teams. First, for the visiting Utah Grizzlies, who are led by first-year head coach John Buchanan. The assistant coaches are Ryan Anderson and Jack Skilly. Anderson's on the trip, and Skilly is back here in the Salt Lake Valley. Grizzlies have a record of 8-9-2, and they are 6-4-1 on the road. They've outscored opponents 34-31 away from Maverick Center this season. Getting the start in net will be Dylan Wells, who has a record of 4-4-2. He has one shutout, which came on October 24th, where he saved all 46 Idaho shots. He has a 3.49 goals against average and 887 save percentage. Wells is 6'2" and 190 pounds last season. He was with the Allen Americans and won 7 games. Jared Stahl, Stahel, is the backup goaltender tonight. He is 5'11", 180 pounds. He's an emergency backup, as Kyle Kaiser was called up to the AHL's Colorado Eagles yesterday, as Scott Wedgwood is day-to-day with it appears to be a back injury. And with that, Trent Miner got called up to the Eagles, and the Eagles called up Kaiser from Utah. So Dylan Wells is the lone goaltender tonight. Both teams have emergency backup goaltenders this evening, as Marco Costantini of the Americans suffered a lower body injury late in the second period last Friday at Maverick Center. The starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies includes Colby Enns, who's wearing number 5. Enns is 6'2", 201 pounds, 1 goal and 1 assist in 15 games, and he leads all Grizzly defensemen with a +2 rating. He's going to be paired up with Aiden Hansen-Bukata, who leads all Grizzly defensemen with 9 assists. AHB is looking for his first pro goal. He's a +1 on the season. So he's starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies is Enns and Hansen-Bukata. We will also see Sage Weinstein paired up all night with Christian Felton. We will see Luke Salem. Sometimes he'll be with Colby Enns. Other times he will be with Avery Winslow. Grizzlies do have an odd number of defensemen tonight. We will also see Kabori Dunn out there. And it's great to have Avery Winslow back. He appeared in a game on Wednesday morning for the first time in a month, as he suffered an upper body injury late in the October 24th game at Idaho, as he got hit by Mitch Wall, and Wall ended up serving a 3-game suspension as a result of the hit. So that's the starting defensive pairing, Colby Enns and Aiden Hansen-Bukata. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies include Stepan Timofeyev, who has 4 goals and 5 assists in 15 games. He's going to be lined up with Danny Genev, the rookie out of Penn State. Genev has 5 goals and 9 assists in 19 games. He was one of Utah's best forwards in the month of November. And Griffin Ness, who has 4 goals and 5 assists in 19 games, watch out for Ness. He's certainly made an impact over the last couple weeks. So that's the starting forwards for the Grizzlies. Timo Feyev, Ness, and Geneva from left to right. First forward line is going to feature Neil Shea, who's out there with Luke Manning and Reed Webster. We will also see Christoph Filion lined up with Jack Ricketts and Maxime Barbashev, and John Gillette and Evan Friesen are going to be on the line with the Grizzlies having 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. We will see very varying and different line combinations throughout this game. So with that, we're going to see a wide variance of forwards matched up with Gillette and Friesen. One shift, it might be Neil Shea. Another shift, it might be Luke Manning. And, there's been a couple shifts where Danny Geneva joined those two. But nevertheless, just one of those things that with the Grizzlies playing with an odd number of forwards, they'll have different combinations. Scratches for the Grizzlies tonight include Rylan Kovacevic as well as Adam Berg. Noah Gansky's out, as well as Tyler Grant, who's missing his 4th straight game with an upper body injury. And Ty Voigt has been out since Game 10 of the regular season. Now for the homestanding Allen Americans. We're led by longtime head coach Steve Martin. It's his first season back in his second stint. He did win 4 championships with the Americans back from 2013 through 2016, 2 of them in the CHL, and then he won Kelly Cups in 2015 and 2016. Martinson behind the bench will also have Matt Register, who's acting as an assistant coach. Register, a future Hall of Famer in this league. Getting the start in net will be David Tendek. He's got a 2-3 record with 1 shutout, a .943 save percentage, and 2.27 goals against average. He started the year with the Florida Everblades. Tendek, 6'1" and 172 pounds. He's a former draft pick of the Arizona Coyotes. The starting defensive pairing for Allen includes Quinn Wormuth, who's a 6'4", 219-pound defenseman, and he's going to be paired up with Jackson Decker, number 21. Starting forwards for the Americans include their captain, Colton Hargrove, who has 2 goals and 2 assists in 15 games. Danny Kadek, in 7 games, has 4 goals and 4 assists. He's also spent some time this year with the AHL's Belleville Senators. And Malik Johnson's also going to be in the starting lineup. Johnson has not appeared in a game yet this season, so it'll be his first game, 5'11" and 192 pounds. Watch out for Hank Croney at all 3 of Allen's goals on Wednesday morning. Crone will be in the lineup, and he'll be on a forward line with Michael Gildon and Thomas Caron. You also see plenty of Spencer Asachuk, especially when it comes to taking some of the big faceoffs. He's going to be out there with Harrison Blaisdell and last year's Americans' leading scorer, Braden Watts. And we'll also see Troy Murray out there with Colby McCauley and Brad Morrison. That's the lineup for the Allen Americans. We mentioned the starting defensive pairing. It's going to be Quinn Wormuth and Jackson Decker. We will also see Andre Anania paired up with Sam Sedley, the second-year pro who played with Reading and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms last year. And the third defensive pairing is going to be Trevor Ladon. He's out there with Braden Simmons-Fisher. We'll come back and have face-off on the other side. You've been tuned into the pregame report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe that you should get more from less. Like exclusive tires we design ourselves means more tires made for the roads that you drive, less compromise. And we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. It's more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. And our 60-day satisfaction guarantee means you'll be way more satisfied and way less stressed. For all this and more, you get more from less.
It's a great night for hockey as two big standings points are on the line as the Utah Grizzlies take on the Allen Americans for the 5th of 10 meetings this season. Utah is 1-3 against Allen, although they have taken a ton of shots, 37.5 per game. Jack Ricketts has 2 goals and 2 assists against the Americans this year. Neil Shea has 1 goal and 3 assists. And watch out for Neil Shea. He's a high-volume shooter against the Americans. He has 20 shots in 4 games against Allen this year. Reed Lebster leads the Grizzlies with 2 goals against Allen. Interesting goaltending matchup. David Tendek, the former Arizona Coyotes draft pick, is going to get the start in net. It's his. He just arrived in Allen a few weeks ago. Spent the first part of this season with the Florida Everblades. He's also played with Rapid City, the Atlanta Gladiators, and Wheeling Nailers, as well as some time in Idaho. So we'll see Tendek in net for the Americans, and Dylan Wells will get the start for John Buchanan's crew. It's Wells' 3rd appearance against Allen this year. Now the Grizzlies are in a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. Allen is in a white jersey with red numbers, red lettering, red on the shoulders, red in the bottom of the jerseys with a little bit of a white stripe. Griffin Ness will take the draw against Colton Hargrove. 20 minutes are on the clock. The puck is dropped by referee Grant Hendrick, and we're underway as the Americans will skate from right to left, Grizz from left to right. Allen will pitch it out to center ice. Hargrove skates in, left side, lefty shot saved by Wells. Rebound goes towards the Americans. Blake Johnson spins it around, now taking it is Stepan Timofeyev, and the Grizzlies nudge it towards the right side. Genev, lefty shot, and that's blocked off Tendek's shoulder. Puck hipping out towards the slot, batted by Hargrove. Timofeyev feeds it behind the net for Genev, who danced around behind Allen's net, tried to pitch it out in front, hits the side of the net. The Americans come back the other way. Allen will loft it ahead and make their first line change of the game. And Danny Caddick chasing after it, but the Grizzlies get it, and they'll spin it back towards neutral ice. As Griffin Ness gets the puck, he'll cross the center red line, skates down the middle, dangles back and forth, now high slot. He'll take a righty shot, and that's blocked away. As puck goes towards the left corner, Grizzlies dance around. Neil Shea in his first shift of the game. He scored a late third period goal on Wednesday morning as he lofted it ahead. It went about waist high and couldn't be connected towards a Grizzly. Now Allen towards the right side. They get it across. Off the boards, Anania, lefty shot. That one goes wide. Stick side on Wells. As the Americans get it back towards Michael Gildon. He'll move it up top. Left point to Anania. As he'll drop it off. Sedley, righty shot. Glove saved by Wells. He holds on as we get a whistle with 18:44 left in the first. Well, who's your pick to click? Who's going to be the star of the game for the Grizzlies tonight? I know I'm going to go with Reed Lebster. He's had some big games so far this season. I got Lebster as my pick to click. Looks like Nadine's going with Griffin Ness, and Spigali's going with the Aiden Hansen-Mukata. I probably missed that name, but he's going with AHB. Grizzlies win the draw. They're deep in their own zone. Felton gets pushed along the boards as Luke Manning gets it, as he'll nudge it ahead as it goes towards the left wing boards, which is the near side, and Lebster gets the puck. And he will swing it across, and the puck is incomplete, looking for a Grizzly at center ice as Utah will come off and make a change. Allen dumps it back in. Felton gets to Weinstein, far corner of the Grizzlies zone, and he'll put some arc to it as the puck slides into the American zone. As the puck from Weinstein got some pretty good air. Utah over the offensive line. Luke Manning skates towards the corner, stops, feeds it up top. As Avery Winslow skates towards the left side, lefty shot, and that one's chipped away and caught by Tendek. After the whistle, some pushing and shoving, as looks like Trevor Ladon is getting after it with a Grizzly. And it looks like a Grizzly has a linesman on top of him. And then Ladon tries to continue his argument. Now Ladon to his feet. And the linesman is on top of a Grizzly. And that Grizzly was John Gillette. As Gillette gets back to his feet, Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. There's 18:05 left in the first. It's just the start of things, so grab some chips and dip and a beverage of your choice and enjoy part of Friday with us. Danny Caddick looking around. He's 6'4" and 222 pounds, and that's not unusual for the Americans. They're maybe the biggest team the Grizzlies will face all season. Friesen will take the drives out there with Gillette and Ness. Grizzlies win the face-off as Winslow spins along the boards. Now Allen will tap it back further along the wall as Ness continues his battle. Friesen in the area as the puck slides back towards the near corner of the American zone. Allen wings it around all the way to center ice and back into the Grizzlies' end. Running it down is Luke Salem wearing number 6. He has 4 assists in 18 games this year. He'll move it ahead to Ness. Right side, Ness tried to jump out of the way of a check and lost control of the puck as the Americans still back in their own zone. Grizzlies with a little bit of a challenge as Griffin Ness back in the Allen zone. and he's applying some pressure, as is John Gillette, and looks like Christoph Filion. Now the Americans tried to enter the zone. It looks like the linesman said they were offside. 17:23 left in the first. Draw's going to be at neutral ice. Grant Hendrick is the referee. First time he's officiated a Grizzly game. The linesmen are Trent Williams and Aaron Schacht. Matt Register, the acting assistant coach, looking at his notes. Register, a future Hall of Famer in the league. Draw at center ice. Ricketts will take it against Asachuk, and the Grizzlies win the draw. Filion, who played at Merrimack and played at Quinnipiac and Miami of Ohio, tried to nudge it ahead, and it goes into the Allen bench. So play stops with 17:16 left in the first. I'm sure at this point, both teams are thinking about that chess match, as both clubs know the strengths and weaknesses of the other pretty well by now. Fifth time these teams have seen each other over the last 9 days. Allen wins the draw as Jackson Decker moves it across. As the Americans get it back to Decker down the middle of the ice, he'll nudge it towards his right. Allen crosses center ice, no one-handed in. Grizzlies chip it back to center ice and goes back deep into the American zone. And the arm is raised by the linesman as Jackson Decker took a spill on his own. 17:01 left in the first, and the draw is going to come back towards Dylan Wells. And it's a bit of a reunion of sorts for Wells, the former Allen American. Last season in 20 games with the Americans, he had a 7-9-3 record with a 3.80 goals against average and .896 save percentage. Ricketts will take the draw against Asachuk. Jack Ricketts, 8 goals and 7 assists in 19 games. And he's been outstanding for the Grizzlies over the last month. Left wing, lefty shot, glove saved by Wells. That shot was taken by Andre Anania, who so far this season has 1 goal and 9 assists in 17 games. Harrison Blaisdell talking things over with the Grizzly. Quite a few whistles here, as we're just 3:04 into the contest, but the game has yet to develop a good flow to it. So draw's going to be over in the left circle of the Grizzly zone. Still early on, no score. Asachuk wins the draw against Ness. Anania moves it towards his right. Now right side, righty shot gets redirected on towards Wells and goes past him towards the end boards. Watson Asachuk battle with a couple Grizzlies. Utah moves it out to center ice. Genev over the offensive line. Right side, he'll move to his left. He'll drop it off for Ness. Righty shot. Glove saved by Tendek. And he holds on as Tendek got in the butterfly and snatched it about shoulder high as Ness tried to roof it over his right shoulder. And Tendek does catch with his right, and his stick side is his left. So it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies. Tendek wearing his Arizona Coyotes helmet. That's got to be a collector's item. Tendek, a former draft pick of Arizona a handful of years ago. Griffin Ness has certainly made a strong impression so far for Utah. He plays a good two-way game, and he seems to have really picked up the tempo over the last couple weeks. He's been a tough guy to play against. And Ness, in his second season as a pro, he played his college hockey at the University of North Dakota. Ness last year played in a total of 73 games, 59 for Toledo and 14 for Utah. Allen gets the puck off the draw as they're deep in their own zone over in the near corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period as the Grizzlies trying to break free. Filion gets pushed towards the glass, and Danny Caddick will nudge it ahead to center ice, and it goes past Hargrove all the way down, and we get another icing with 16:19 left in the first, and we're still looking for a strong flow to this game as the whistle has been the dominating performer here so far. So Grizzlies with an offensive zone face-off. Watch out for Maxime Barbashev. He's on the ice right now. He has 2 assists in 3 games with Utah. He spent last year with the Bloomington Bison. He had 3 goals and 5 assists in 36 games. He also appeared in 6 games with the Hartford Wolfpack. Grizzlies get it as Ricketts tried to nudge it ahead. Ricketts as an AHL contract with Tucson. Now back up top. Weinstein left point will skate towards the left circle with confidence. He takes a lefty shot that goes wide. As the Americans will bank it off the near boards. It stays in the right point by Ricketts. As Felton gets pushed, puck slides back to center ice. Grizzlies reset. Barbashev will drop it off. He's a former 5th-round pick, 161st overall by the Rangers back in 2022. Felton back deep in his own zone. He had an NHL deal with Vancouver last year. Odd turnover. Allen centering pass. Now back to the left side. Shot and a score. Tic-tac-toe, and toe turned out to be Colby McCauley. He gives the Americans a 1-0 lead with 15:40 left in the first. As the Grizzlies turned it over, Hargrove had the second pass. It was Caddick to Hargrove to McCauley. The Americans draw first blood. The fans chant red, red, as they play the custom Allen Americans goal song. As the Americans convert on a Utah turnover, they lead 1-0. As we're back to live action, 4.5 minutes in. As the Americans cross center ice, and please bear with me a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm not at the Credit Union of Texas Event Center, so I am at the mercy of the one camera feed we have over in the Allen area via Flow Sports. Left side, lefty shot, saved by Wells in the butterfly position as it goes back towards the left side. Gildon gets pushed along the glass by Ness. Ness has to be among Grizzlies leaders in hits so far this season. He's delivered plenty of checks over the last couple weeks. As Allen gets the puck deep in their own zone, as it's swept away by Troy Murray, as he gets it towards the Allen bench. Americans cross center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. Allen pitches towards the right side. Crone centers it, but it goes all the way towards Wells, who bats it back behind his net towards the end boards. Grizzlies start the attack with Timofeyev right wing, and he'll loft one in. So he'll chase after it. Shea in the area. Shea gets the puck, and he swings it back around towards the right wing. At the point, Ends. It looked like Ends tried to hold the line, but it looks like the puck ended up back to neutral ice, so the Grizzlies are offside with 14:37 left in the first. The Americans with a 1-0 lead as Colby McCauley scored his third goal of the year. The assist went to Brad Morrison and Danny Caddick, even though it looked like clearly it was Colton Hargrove. We even saw it on the replay that Hargrove was the one that fed it towards McCauley. So they're going to have to switch that. Right now they've got Brad Morrison and Danny Caddick with the assist, even though we believe it should be Hargrove instead of Morrison getting one of those helpers. Action deep in the Grizzly zone. An Allen player lost a stick as Colby Ends was battling with Malik Johnson. Johnson picks his stick back up. First time he's played in an Allen jersey this season wearing number 76. So it's going to be a 2-minute penalty for the Grizzlies as there's 14-17 left in the first. Allen's power play is 14.8% this season. Grizzlies penalty kills at 80% as Colby Ends goes to the box. And the nature of the penalty, we didn't get to see the referee's signal. It might be a slash. It is a slashing minor, 5:43 in. Grizzlies against Allen this season are 9 for 11 on the penalty kill. Hargrove takes a draw and he wins it, but it goes back to neutral ice. So Allen will skate back into their own zone. Utah does have 2 shorthanded goals this season. Both of them are by Reed Webster. Hargrove will throw it back as Sedley moves to his right. Americans cross center ice, right wing feed off a stick. Hargrove drops it off for McCauley. He'll nudge it back to the right point as Sedley slides one towards Crone. Crone directs it back towards Sedley. Sedley steers it towards his right. Hargrove, one-timer, and that's blocked. As Grizzlies, Luke Salem chips it up but not out. As an Allen player is on one knee, throws to the middle of the ice now. Puck hipping ups towards the Utah line. Grizzlies get it, and they'll clear it all the way towards David Tendek. A minute 18 left in Allen's power play. 6.5 minutes in. Allen leads 1-0. Left wing feed. They're looking for Caddick, and the puck bounced off a stick. Timing was messed up. Allen's offside as Caddick flipped it towards the first row as he tried to bat it towards the linesman, and a fan comes away with a frozen vulcanized rubber disc. So it's going to be a neutral zone draw. Allen switches up as Thomas Cron's one of 5 skaters on the ice. Cron had an assist in Wednesday morning's game. He has 2 goals and 5 assists in 17 games. Asachuk talking things over with Michael Gildon. And it looks like the draw is actually going to be at center ice. The Americans have an All-Star Classic logo at center ice as they will host the league's All-Star game. Draw one by Asachuk as the Grizzlies skate from left to right. Allen leads 1-0, 6.5 minutes in. We're about halfway through Allen's power play. The Americans chip it down the middle of the ice as Allen tried to nudge it towards their left, and Watts in particular. Now Anania gets to the right side. Americans get it back up top to Anania. He'll direct it to his left. Now back up top to Anania, who fakes one-timer over to Hargrove. Back to Anania. Dance around down the middle of the ice to take a lefty shot, and it's blocked. Grizzlies will bank it off the near wing boards. Allen collects it at their blue line as the Americans reset. Less than 40 seconds left in the power plays. Colby Ends is in the box serving a slashing minor. Cron over the line, second stint with the Americans, but he dropped it, and it went back to neutral ice. Asachek carried it back in. Allen is offside with 12:50 left in the first. Fifth of 6 straight meetings between the clubs. Saturday night will be a 6:10 face-off over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. That's going to be the 6th and final game of the series. Don't forget to join us at Maverick Center for a 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Don't forget the Grizzlies' next home game is going to be on Wednesday, December 10th. Atlanta's been a pretty hot club this season. They come into play tonight against Jacksonville with a 12-4 record. Anania at center ice. He'll nudge it across. The Americans cross center ice left wing. They tried to chip it to McCauley when it was overlet for him. Grizzlies tapping off the top of the glass. Puck goes to center ice. Manning battles with McCauley, and he'll lay it for Lebster. 15 seconds left in Allen's power play. Lebster will bounce it off the boards. Grizzlies at neutral ice, and they'll slide it in. As puck wings around the boards. Sedley gets it back towards McCauley. 2 seconds left on the penalty kill. Coming out of the box is Colby Enns. Successful penalty kill by the Grizzlies down the middle of the ice. McCauley gets around one skater, and that's Kabori Dunn, wearing number 44, one of his first shifts of the game. Salem, Dunn holds up an American, and that's Caddick, who's the big 6'4", 220-pounder. As Dunn holds his ground, Dunn's got some pretty good strength. As puck goes towards the right corner, Grizzlies chip it to Ness. Ness has a glance off his stick, and Utah gets the John Gillette across center ice. Oh, big-time hit! As a Grizzly dumped the puck deep into the American zone and got hit high and hard. Luckily, it looked like they got back to their feet. The Americans are one of the bigger hitting teams in the league, as Allen has it back deep in their own zone. Ness initiates some action as Allen gets around Genev and Ness. They'll get it out to center ice around Timofeyev. Now left wing. Sedley tried to center it. Nobody was home as it was overled for Harrison Blaisdell. Morrison gets bounced towards the boards, and the Grizzlies clear it out to center. Utah 2-on-2, but it's tapped away by Allen. Americans left wing feed goes past Morrison. Blaisdell hustles after it, and with good speed, Felton gets the puck. He's lightning on skates as Christian Felton. He'll get it ahead about 30 feet, tape to tape, as Timofeyev enters the zone, tried to center it to Felton. It was overled for him. Puck ended up in the right corner. Felton tapped it off an American stick, and it goes out of play off the protective netting with 11:04 left in the first. Allen leads 1-0 on Colby McCauley's third of the year. Timeout on the ice will take one as well. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Allen leads 1-0 as there's 11:04 left in the first period. Allen has outshot Utah 7-3. For the Grizzlies, Winslow, Genev, and Ness each have one shot. And for the Americans, Colton Hargrove and Andre Anania each have 2 shots. Colby McCauley has 1 goal on 1 shot. Sam Sedley and Braden Simmons-Fisher also with 1 shot on goal. As Utah's in the offensive zone, they win the draw left side as they'll bounce off the end boards, and it looks like it goes out of play off the protective netting as everybody points towards the heavens. Draw's going to come back into the Allen zone as the Grizzlies are looking for some offensive zone time, and they're looking to find a way to get back on the board. As they show the hit, it was Kabori Dunn colliding with an American, and certainly a clean hit. It was just about chest high. The American knocked down Kabori Dunn. Draw won by the Americans, and they will sky it all the way towards center ice as Weinstein plays soccer ahead about 5 feet to Barbashev. Puck slides back to the Allen line. Decker gets the puck. He'll move it across. Allen tosses ahead. They've got a record of 7-7-3 on the year. They're a 500 club, and they dump it in, but they did so from their side of center ice, so icing on the Americans with 10:40 left in the first. Quite a few games tonight across the league. There's 3 other games involving Mountain Division teams. Tulsa has an early 1-0 lead against Wichita as McMaster scored 6:44 in. getting underway in about a half hour from now. 12 Riviera is at Idaho. And at 8 o'clock, Rapid City's at Tahoe. Obviously go over all those scores during the first and second intermissions. Prieston's kicked out of the face-off circle, and John Gillette will take the draw. Danny Genev, the first-year pro out of Penn State's also on the ice. As Utah gets up top after winning the face-off, Colby Enns will move it towards the middle of the ice shot, and it goes behind Allen's net, stays in play. As the Americans will race around one Grizzly. Now Cron gets around a second. Thomas Cron slithers his way around Enns, skates in, looking for a shot as he was shoveling towards the net and just couldn't get one off as he lost his balance. Left wing, Ladon fires towards the net, and that's blocked away. Not sure if it got towards Wells. There was traffic in front of the Utah goaltender. Hank Crone gets it back to the right point. The Americans trying to slither one in, and it's poked away by Utah, who clears it back to neutral ice. A Grizzly got knocked down, and that was John Gillette. He was looking for a penalty, none to be had. Allen ices the puck as Enns chases after it, and we get a whistle with 9:59 left in the first. The Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw as the Flow Sports camera spotlights Hank Crone, who scored 3 goals on Wednesday. Crone was the league MVP during the 2022-23 season. Neil Shea talking things over with Luke Manning. We believe Reed Lepster is the other forward that's off the screen. Manning has been a strong performer. He's taken a ton of the key faceoffs for the Grizzlies at the first-line center. Utah wins the draw, lefty shot, and that's blocked. Might have been blocked before it got towards David Tendek. That shot was taken by Avery Winslow. Grizzlies out towards the Allen line. It goes to Manning, who skates towards the right circle. I tried to drop it off. Manning lost his stick, and it looks like Utah's going to get their first power play of the game. Manning was skating with speed towards the right circle. Either was looking to fire a shot or fire a centering pass out in front of the crease. Allen knocked over Manning's stick. And so the first penalty for the Americans is going to be a slashing call, and Utah will be on the man advantage when we come back. Allen leads 1-0 with 9:42 left in the first. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
.942 is left in the first period. Grizzlies get a power play. As an American, Trevor Ladon in particular was called 2 minutes for slashing. Utah's power play is 17.6% on the year. Allen's penalty kill is 89.2%. As there's Trevor Ladon, normally wearing number 14, but it appears he has switched to number 25. Second stint with the Americans. As Utah's 10 seconds into the power play. As we're back to live action, Neil Shea gets it on the right side, just outside the circle. He feeds to the goal line. Manning trying to chip it up top. It's glanced off an Allen's stick. As Grizzlies keep it in, Hanson Buchanan backhanded across, anticipating the play, and clearing it back to Utah ice is Braden Watts. As Watts chases after it, he collides with Hanson Buchanan behind Utah's net. Utah will sweep one towards the near wing boards. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Utah crosses center ice. Lepser dangles back and forth. Skates towards the right corner. Stops on a dime. He'll nudge it up top. As Hanson Buchanan fires a lefty shot, saved by Tendek. Rebound goes towards the right corner. The Grizzly gets a rough ride towards the glass, and that's Luke Manning who battles with Anania. The Americans will slide it all the way past Lepster and towards Dylan Wells. As the Grizzlies will fit a line change. We're halfway through Utah's power play. In 8:41 on a moving clock, Americans lead 1-0 on Colby McCauley's third of the year. Felton gets to Ness, crossing center ice right wing. He'll skate towards his left. Ness will move it to his left as the Grizzlies dump it in. Ness chasing after it. As getting there first is Quentin Warmoth, and he'll hike it all the way towards Wells. As it goes back deep into the Grizzlies zone. Wells will drop it behind his net. Grizzlies skate from left to right as Utah will fake it towards their right. Felton now gets to the Ness at center ice. He'll nudge it back towards Grizzlies ice as Genev gets around one skater, throws it to the middle of the ice for Timofeyev. Back off the boards. Genev gets it off the wall, skates around Allen's net towards the right side. Genev fakes it to Ness. He'll skate towards the high slot. He'll drop it for Felton. Right side just outside the circle. Shot saved by Tendek. Ness gets double teamed behind Allen's net. As hustling after a loose puck as Evan Friesney collects it. Less than 10 seconds left in the power play. Up top, looking for Genev. It goes past him, and that will do it for Utah's power play. Both clubs are 0 for 1 on the power play tonight as Trevor Ladon's out of the box. Genev will move it to Felton right side. Felton over the line. He'll veer off to his left. Now gets it towards Genev. Left side. His shot is blocked by Tendek. Taking the rebound is Michael Gildon. 7:30 on a moving clock as Allen leads 1-0. Now my screen's frozen for a little bit. There's now action's in the Grizzlies zone. Now there's 7:15 left in the first. As unfortunately, the screen has now decided to take a dive. Now there's about 7 minutes left in the first period. Grizzlies have it behind their net. As Allen does have a bit of a shot advantage here in this first period as Barbashev collides with Gildon. Morrison loses the puck and the Grizzlies race out to center ice. Barbashev moves it to his left and the Grizzlies slide it in. Filion collides with Sedley. There's a broken stick behind as it looks like Utah is going to get called for a penalty as Morrison was skating towards the far wing boards. He got tripped up from behind by Christoph Filion, and Filion's going to serve 2 minutes as the Americans get their second power play of the period. 6:34 is left in the first. Filion sporting a mustache, and he'll skate towards the box. Kind of longer hair, kind of reminiscent of a 1980s or early 1990s look. Filion goes to the box for 2 minutes. Watch out for Colby McCauley. He's on the ice. He's given the Grizzlies fits over the years. Filion in the box, 25 years old, 5'9", 171 pounds. Played at Quinnipiac from 2020 through 2024, and last year scored 4 goals and 6 assists for Miami of Ohio. Draw one by the Grizzlies. Reed Lepster will nudge it ahead and chase after it. Lepster gets it off the left wing boards, and he gets it tapped away. Back to center ice. The Americans cross center. Chrome gets taken away by Lepster. It will brush it towards the near wing wall. Lepster will drop it back deeper into the Grizzly zone, and Utah will sell it all the way towards Tendek. Boy, great hustle by Reed Lepster. Now the puck towards the left corner, dancing around Manning, who got it towards Lepster, glanced up at his stick onto Tendek, who literally kicks it towards the near corner. The Americans moving out to center ice, but the only people there are Grizzlies. Utah in the black jersey, white numbers, professional green trim. Up ahead towards Manning off his stick as the Americans race across center ice. Caddick moves to his right, and he'll drop it off, right point. McCauley gets taken away by Lepster at a glance off his stick out to center ice. Lepster comes off the ice after an outstanding shift. Caddick gets it across. Grizzlies nudge it back to center ice. As the American Sam Sedley, he's being challenged by Timofeyev. Sedley moves it across as trying to locate the puck as Colton Hargrove is knifed away by Timofeyev. Behind Allen's net, the Americans will start the attack. They'll throw it to the right side. Timofeyev continues to challenge. As we got about 50 seconds left in Allen's power play, their second of the evening. Americans lead 1-0. Allen crosses center ice as Gildon moves it towards the left point, but the puck ended up filtering back to center ice. So the Americans are offside with 5:15 left in the first and 41 seconds left in the power play. As Allen talking things over, Michael Gildon's made a strong impression over the last 9 days. He has 6 goals and 3 assists in 17 games. Gildon out of Plano, Texas. So he's a local product, 24 years old. I think if I remember right, when I was in Texas a handful of years ago, there was one town that was between Allen and Dallas. And I think it might have been Plano. I know the Plano high school football scene's pretty strong. As the Americans back towards the right side, as Weinstein delivers a push on an American towards the wall. Gildon trying to feed it up top. Grizzlies took it away, and they'll sell it past Anania and all the way down deep into the American zone. Tendek behind his net, drops it off for Anania. As Utah's penalty kill has been pretty strong against the Americans as of late. Anania drops it back. Now Gildon gets to Watts on the right side. Watts will skate towards the corner. His action's in the Grizzly zone. Gildon trying to move it across. It glanced off a stick. Blaisdell gets it out in front. Utah takes it away. Coming out of the box is Filion. Utah's 2 for 2 on the penalty kill As we're late in the first period, Shea gets an idle puck, and he'll race out to center ice. He'll move it to his right, and the diagonal feed goes to Manning, who skates towards the right corner. He gets held up along the wall. As Anna Neal will bounce off a Grizzly. Now Utah behind Allen's net. Will get it towards a corner that's now vacated. Dunn chases after it. Morrison gets there first. The Americans will sky it out to center ice, gloved and dropped by Manning. As Manning over the offensive line avoids a check, dumps it into the left corner. As the Americans wing it back around, as they're towards the near side, Allen will chip it out to center ice. Hargrove dumps it in. He has to get around Ends. Does get around Ends, but couldn't get around Hanson Bukata. Ends gets blasted along the near wing boards. Fans like that. Now another big hit by Allen. Lepster over the offense line, 2-on-2. He'll drop it from Manning down the middle of the ice. He'll take a lefty shot that goes wide. Lepster gets some lumber from Warmoth along the boards. Ness avoids a check of Johnson. Now down the middle of the ice, they drop it for Ends. Righty shot and a score! Colby Ends gets his second of the year, and the Grizzlies tied up. Boy, great drop pass towards the right side for Ends. It was Genev to Ends to the back of the net. Ness was net front. He got a stick up there, but I'm not sure that it connected off of Ness's stick. It should be Colby Ends getting his second goal in his last 3 games. Remember, he scored his first pro goal last Saturday in the 3-2 win over the Americans. And the Grizzlies, late in the first period, get a hard-working shift as they tie it up at 1. Caddick stares towards the center ice circle. And you talk about maybe the hardest working forwards so far tonight for the Grizzlies. You got to look at Griffin Ness, Danny Genev. They're both on the ice. And Colby Ends, he's going to be a pretty good pro. First year as a pro. You know, he leads all Grizzly defensemen with a +2 rating so far. He plays a strong defensive game, but he also has got more aggressive offensively. And he's just going to continue to get better as the year progresses. Ends gets the puck, nudge it ahead to neutral ice. 3 minutes left in the first. As Genev drops it or fakes it to Timofeyev. Genev, right side, his lefty shot saved by Tendek, and he holds on. But another hard-working shift by the forward line of Genev, Timofeyev, and Jack Ricketts. Utah's tying goal was scored by Colby Ends, 16:29 in. Danny Genev and Griffin Ness picked up the assists. We're tied at 1, 2:56 left in the first. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
2:56 is left in the first period. We're tied at 1. As Colby McCauley scored 420 in with Morrison and Caddick getting the assist. Then Utah tied it up. Colby Ends got a second of the year. 16:29 in with Genev and Ness getting the assist. For Danny Genev, he just keeps collecting points. That was his 10th assist of the year. And for Griffin Ness, that was his 6th helper. For Genev, he now has a point in 8 of his last 10 games, with this being the 10th. As Allen wins the draw, they're deep in their own zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Utah's forwards are doing a really good job. Arm is raised by the referee, and it's going to be a penalty on Utah. Not sure where it came from. It looked like Ricketts had extended his stick a little bit. He can't believe it if it's on him. Utah touched it up at center ice, and Allen will get a late first period power play. It'll be the Americans' 3rd power play of this first period. It's Jack Ricketts getting the 2-minute penalty. Kind of extended his stick a little bit as he was at the middle of the ice. And apparently it was enough for referee Grant Hendrick to make the call. Didn't see the signal of what the penalty is with Ricketts, but he broke a hockey rule. Colby Ends will take the draw. And sometime next week, I got to ask John Buchanan. Once again, it's a defenseman who doesn't normally take faceoffs, taking a defensive zone draw. And if we're quite frank about it, the defensemen for the Grizzlies have rarely won those face-offs, but it goes past the Allen player up top, and the Americans have to reset. Hargrove enters the offensive zone, gets around ends, tried to slide one out in front, instead kept the puck because there was no shooting or passing angle, and the Grizzlies clear it out to center ice. Colby Ends, a dependable defenseman for the Grizzlies. Last year was at Merrimack College. Before that, spent 4 years at Northern Michigan University. Americans get it knifed away. Puck goes to center ice. Crone moves it to somebody off the screen, and the Americans get it back across. Crone in the area, but it's chipped in by Sedley as Grizzlies will slice it up but not out. Crone over the high slot. He will slide it to his right. The Americans, Colton Hargrove, will move it to his right. Now the puck's over in the right circle. The Americans dance around as they get to the left wing. Sedley surveys. Now he feeds up top to Crone. Back to the right side. One-timer saved by Wells. Grizzlies get it, and they will sky it all the way deep towards David Tendek. 52 seconds left in the power play. Both teams will switch up skaters. We're tied at 1 here late in the first period. Allen gets it towards the right wing across center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. Watts will slide it towards his left. Asachuk extended his stick. He gets off the left corner boards. Asachuk gets hit by Felton. Puck slides towards the right wing. Allen will bat it in towards the right corner as the Americans trying to get to the middle of the ice for Gildon. Getting a stick in the way is Luke Manning. Lepster gets a puck. He crosses center ice 1-on-2, and Lepster will saucer it in. Caron gets the skipping puck behind his net, and he'll keep the play alive. Caron's got good speed. Gets around 2 Grizzlies. Slithers his way towards the left circle. Caron around Utah's net towards the far side. He'll chip it up top. Anania all alone. He'll move it to the left. Now back up top to Anania. He'll feed it to his right. One-timer saved by Wells. Rebound goes to the left wing boards. Gildon centers it to Cron, who collides with Manning. Grizzlies get it, and they'll clear it out. Ricketts is out of the box, and the Grizzlies are 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. So half a minute left in the first period, and the penalty kill's probably been the biggest story for the Grizzlies here so far. Allen came out with a ton of jump and momentum. They scored the first goal of the game, but the Grizzlies, with some hard-working shifts, have found a way to climb back in it. Allen over the offensive line. Weinstein delivers a push on an American. Allen skates around Wells' net. Over to Crone. 10 seconds left in the period. Over to Warmoth. Right side is shot, and that's blocked before it gets to Wells. Now around Utah's net. They center it. Grizzlies cleared off the near wing wall. 2 seconds left in the period, and that will do it for 20 minutes over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. And that was really the story. We had just mentioned it over the last 30 seconds. Grizzlies' penalty kill was 3 for 3. And even though Allen came out with a ton of heart and jump early on, they obviously scored the first goal of the game. The Grizzlies responded with some hard-working shifts. Ness, Timofeyev, and Genev in particular were outstanding with their effort. Reed Lepster had some great shifts in the first period. Utah tied it up as Genev dropped it for Enns on the right side, and Enns was able to fire it past Tendek. That's Enns' second goal as a Grizzly. They've each come in the last 3 games, and both of his goals have come against Allen goaltender David Tendek. And how about Danny Genev? He keeps racking up points. He's been among league leaders and rookies in a few categories, and he now has 10 assists on the year, which means he now has the Grizzlies' sole lead in that category. And Griffin Ness with some hardworking shifts. He now has 6 assists on the season. Well, both teams head to the locker room, and the Grizzlies, with a perfect 3 for 3 penalty kill first period, seemed to have a little bit more momentum and a little bit more jump after Allen took a 1-0 lead, 4:20 into the contest as McCauley got his 3rd of the year. We'll come back and talk some hockey on the other side. Pretty well played first period for both clubs, and obviously both teams seem to have a pretty good jump on the other in terms of what they like to do, as after all, this is the 5th straight meeting between these clubs over the last 9 days. We'll come back, talk some hockey, and also go over some league scores. We're tied at 1 as Allen got a goal from Colby McCauley and Utah got a goal from Colby Enns. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; VFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider. Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner. Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider. Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner. And Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After 20 minutes of play over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, the Americans and Grizzlies are tied at 1. Allen got on the board first, 4:20 in, as Colby McCauley got his third of the year. Danny Caddick with one of the assists, and I swear it was Colton Hargrove who was down the middle of the ice. He got he should get the main assist. It looked like it was just 1-7, but they say there were 2 sevens on the jersey. I swear it was Colton Hargrove because he had the C on his sweater. But they right now have the assist listed with Brad Morrison, and that was 4:20 into the first period. Good passing play by the Americans. They took a 1-0 lead. Later on in the first period, Colby Enns got a slashing minor, 5:43 in. Allen's lone penalty was called by Trevor Ladon. He got a slashing minor, 10:18 in. Christoph Filion got a tripping minor, 13:26 in. And after Utah's second successful penalty kill, Utah got on the board as Danny Genev entered the offensive zone with some momentum, dropped it off in the right circle for Enns, and Colby Enns fired away past David Tendek. It's Enns' second professional goal, and both of them have come against Allen goaltender David Tendek. They were both different type of goals. Last Saturday, it was in the high slot, and this one was from the right wing. Colby Enns has done a great job of kind of reading plays and figuring out when to get aggressive offensively and when to hang back defensively. Colby Enns is certainly playing with a lot of confidence. So far, he is a +1 tonight, which means he's a +3 to lead all Utah defensemen. And scored with Genev getting his team-leading 10th assist of the year, and Griffin Ness getting his 6th assist of the season. Utah's 0 for 1 on the power play. Allen is 0 for 3, and the 3 successful penalty kills are certainly a big part as to why the Grizzlies had some success in the first period. Jack Ricketts got a high-sticking minor, 17:23 into the first. Allen had a total of 10 shots in the first period. Utah had 9. Colton Hargrove led the way with 3 shots. Andre Anania had 2, and then 5 other Americans with 1 shot. Among the 9 shots the Grizzlies had in the first period, Danny Genev had 3, and then 6 other Grizzlies with 1 shot each. And it's certainly not surprising to see Danny Genev taking 3 shots in the first period and leading the Grizzlies. He does lead Utah in shots on goal. If you count the 3 tonight, he has taken 67 shots. The 67 shots are second among all league rookies. So if we're talking about key rookie forwards, Danny Genev has certainly been among the best, and obviously Jack Ricketts has been right up there. Ricketts has 8 goals and 7 assists on the year. He's got a point in 5 straight. He didn't take a shot in the first period, and it wasn't even in the plus-minus category. We'll see if Ricketts can find the back of the net in the second period. As for the Grizzlies, it kind of felt like a pretty evenly played first period, and I think both teams certainly have a lot of knowledge of the other, and because of that, it doesn't seem like either team's able to trick the other. And with that, both coaches would probably tell you that they got to play a simple game because they're not going to fool the opposition. These teams have seen each other far too many times. And with that, Steve Martinson on the Allen Americans blog, which is one of the best blogs in the league, he's been talking about treating this as a playoff series with it being 6 games. And he kind of talked about, just keep pounding, to where by the 5th and 6th games of the series, the Grizzlies will have nothing. You think about that clip that Paul Maurice had, the Florida Panthers head coach. He had that famous few lines. He was on the bench talking with his team, and he just said, keep pounding them, Pete, keep pounding them. We don't really care about anything. We want to make sure that when this series ends, when you get to game 7, they got nothing left. And Steve Martinson kind of treats it that way, and the Americans kind of treat it that way. They've been talking in the offseason how they want to kind of play with the same style that the Florida Panthers play. And it's one of those that they're going to pick up some penalties here and there, but they want to be a highly aggressive team that just kind of plays with their hair on fire. They want to be a team that's tough to play against, and that kind of goes to the same lines that the Grizzlies had before the season. Griffin Ness in particular, I keep thinking about him talking about that he wanted the Grizzlies and thought the Grizzlies were going to develop an identity of being a team that's tough to play against. And Griffin Ness is certainly kind of leading the charge in that regard. And the Grizzlies, at times against Allen, you have to stand up physically when you play the Americans, but the Grizzlies have stood together. Even though Allen has won 3 of the 4 games in this series, the Grizzlies have stood physically with the Americans, certainly in the first period, even though Allen probably delivered a couple big hits. Grizzlies have held their ground here tonight, and we're not sure what's going to happen in the second period. Allen did have a 2-0 advantage in the second frame, but for most of this year, the Grizzlies have been a strong second period club. Well, we'll see what happens in the second frame, but both teams had some pretty good looks in the first period, and even though Allen came out with a little bit more jam in the first 10 minutes, the Grizzlies certainly battled one shift at a time, and it's really not that big of a surprise that Griffin Ness and Danny Genev were the ones that got Utah on the board, as Colbien scored the goal, Genev and Ness with the assist, and Genev and Ness have certainly been 2 of Utah's harder working forwards so far this season. Other games across the league, we'll start with the Mountain Division. After one period, Wichita leads Tulsa 3-1. Blackwell, Bates, and Krenkovic have the Wichita goals. Krenkovic was with Allen last year. Adam McMaster has the Tulsa tally. Just getting underway, Trois-Rivières will take on Idaho. That game will get started in about 15 minutes. And at 8 o'clock, Rapid City is at Tahoe. Other action in the league after one period, Bloomington leads Kalamazoo 2-1. Early third period, Wheeling leads Greensboro 3-1. And how about Wheeling's Craig Armstrong? He's been one of the hotter players in the league. Armstrong just recently had a 5-point game. Armstrong in his second season as a pro, he was with the Grizzlies all of last season. After 2 periods, Florida leads Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals 5-1. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts has 1 goal. Former Grizzly Taryn Fizer has 1 assist, and Will Cramley, who was a goaltender for the Grizzlies during the 2023-24 season, he's in net for Florida, and he has saved 15 of 16. Everblades 5, Norfolk 1 that game after 2 periods. Also after 2, Orlando leads Greenville 2-1. And how about Orlando? They got off to a really, really slow start as they started the year 1-12. They have now won 3 in a row. They're looking for their 4th in a row, and they lead Greenville 2-1 after 2 periods. Early third period, Atlanta leads Jacksonville 4-1. Atlanta is 12-4 on the year as they have goals from Louis Boudon, Joey Cipollone, and Ethan Scardina and Isaac Walter. Each have a goal for Guy Karenza and Jared Youngman's Gladiators. Johnson has the lone tally for Jacksonville. So that's going to be a tough test for the Grizzlies next week at Maverick Center, taking on the Atlanta Gladiators, as Atlanta's been one of the best defensive teams in the league. Make sure to get your tickets for that series December 10th, 12th, and 13th. And don't forget about Saturday, December 13th, 15 days from now. Actually, that's 8 days from now. My Kearns High math lets me down again. 8 days from now, we will have the Teddy Bear Toss. That's going to be the final Teddy Bear Toss in team history, and we're hoping to make it the biggest one ever. Other action in the league, 14 minutes are left in the third period. Savannah leads South Carolina 3-1. After 2 periods, Worcester leads Reading 2-0. Also after 2 periods, Indy has a 4-2 lead over Cincinnati. And one other game in progress, early third period, Adirondack leads Maine 4-1. We'll come back and check on those who are living the dream as there's a handful of NHL games. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to the Grizzlies Hockey Network. I'm Tyson Whiting. After one period, Utah and Allen are tied at 1. 5 games in the National Hockey League tonight. Early third period, Golden Knights have a goal from Shea Theodore. That was 19:41 into the first. Vegas 1, New Jersey nothing. After 2 periods, Jets lead the Sabres 3-1. After 1 period, Stars got a goal from Jason Robertson, 14:20 in. Stars 1, Sharks nothing. Getting underway at 8 o'clock, Capitals are at the Ducks, and at 7 o'clock, the Utah Mammoth take on the Vancouver Canucks. Mammoth are 13-12-3 on the year. They got a big 7-0 victory over Anaheim on national TV on Wednesday night. Vancouver struggling a little bit. They are 10-14-3. Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, lost 6-3 to New York last night. That was just the second regulation loss by the Avalanche all season. Tomorrow, Colorado will play a morning game. It will be a 12:30 local start, 10:30 in the Mountain Time Zone. Avalanche are at the New York Rangers. Colorado is 19-2-6 on the year, and the Rangers are 15-12-2. So we'll keep an eye on that Mammoth Canucks game. I think Utah is certainly hoping that Wednesday night's 7-0 victory was a start of a good streak for them. They have the Canucks tonight on the road, and then tomorrow night they take on the Calgary Flames, who are 10-15-4 on the season. Well, we'll see what the Grizzlies do in the second period. 2 of Utah's big stars in this series against the Allen Americans has been Jack Ricketts, who has 2 goals and 2 assists against the Americans, and Neil Shea, who has 1 goal and 3 assists. Shea has 20 shots through 4 games against the Americans this season. Utah had 9 shots in the first period, and Neil Shea didn't have a shot in that first period. Jack Ricketts didn't have a shot in the first period as well. As Utah really got good contributions from the forward line of Danny Genev, Griffin Ness, and Stepan Timofeyev. Although the Grizzlies have been kind of switching things up, and Genev's had some shifts where he's been playing with Gillette and Friesen, and Ness has also had a couple shifts where he's played with Gillette and Friesen, as Utah is going with an odd number of forwards. They have 11 healthy forwards on their roster. Ty Voigt, Tyler Gratton, and Rylan Kovacevic, as well as Adam Berg, are all on the injured list. Gratton's missing his 4th straight game with an upper body injury. Adam Berg's got a lower body injury. We're not sure how much longer Berg will be out. I think he was kind of hoping that he would be back around this time. Noah Gansky's out with what is feared to be a long-term injury. Connor Kelly yesterday was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles. He's going to miss quite some time with a lower body injury. And Dylan Wells has an e-bug backing him up tonight, as yesterday Kyle Kaiser was recalled to the AHL's Colorado Eagles, as Scott Wedgwood, the Colorado Avalanche goaltender, is dealing with a little bit of a back issue. He's listed as day-to-day, and with that, Trent Miner was recalled to the NHL's Colorado Eagles, and that just kind of moved everybody up a step. Kaiser moving up to the AHL, and the Grizzlies have just Dylan Wells, who has an AHL contract with the Tucson Roadrunners. Well, when we come back, we'll have second period action. We're tied at 1. Utah did have quite a bit of momentum as they played outstanding in the second half of the first period. You've been tuned into the Intermission Report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
We're about set for second period action as Allen and Utah are tied at 1. Don't forget to join us for a big 3-game series next week as the Utah Grizzlies take on the hot Atlanta Gladiators. Atlanta is 12-4 on the year, and they have an early third period lead of 4-1 over the Jacksonville Icemen, and that should be a ton of fun. Next home game will be on Wednesday, December 10th, and the Teddy Bear Toss will be on Saturday, December 13th. The Grizzlies last year on Teddy Bear Toss night broke a team record of 5,393 some odd teddy bears, and I mean they made sure to count each and every one of them. So hopefully we can surpass that total and make the final Teddy Bear Toss in team history a memorable one. Grizzlies affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche and Colorado Eagles. The Allen Americans are affiliated with the Ottawa Senators and the Belleville Senators. Fans raising the roof over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. And the Grizzlies in the second period will skate from right to left as we see the game from Flow Sports. Your mind's eye, see it on YouTube. We ask for a little bit of patience if you're tuned in on YouTube. Unfortunately, I am at the mercy of the one camera that we're getting from Flow Sports. So face off at center ice. 20 minutes are put on the scoreboard clock. And they have begun play over in the second period. As for the first time in 9 seconds, they show the ice wells. We'll tap it off the glass. Luke Manning crosses center ice. He'll get it to Shea, left wing. Shea thought about firing towards the net and got it sticked away. Shea gets it back, and he'll tap it from one corner. It slides to the right corner from the left side over to Lebster. One-timer, and we didn't get to see where the shot ended up. Not sure if it got onto Tendek or if it was missed wide. As we play 33 seconds of the second period, Grizzlies re-enter the offensive zone. Shea down the middle, take a lefty shot, and it goes wide. Shea was falling down as on the follow-through of the shot. Manning, backhand flip, and it goes past Tendek as he missed the net stick side on the Allen goaltender. Puck slides deep into the Grizzlies zone. Weinstein runs it down, and icing is on Allen as we played 49 seconds in the second period. Good first shift by the Grizzlies forward line of Shea, Manning, and Lebster, and Weinstein with a good shift as well. And he's certainly built a lot of confidence here recently. Weinstein is a +4 in his last 7 games. Filion on the ice. He's in the left wing as Ricketts will take the draw in the left circle. Offensive zone faceoff for Utah as Ricketts won the faceoff cleanly. Looked like Hargrove didn't put his heart into that faceoff, and the linesman says, let's do it over again. Hargrove, the Allen captain. Linesman Trent Williams, not to be confused with the San Francisco 49ers offensive lineman. Draw one by Allen, and they'll flip it out to center ice. Puck off a Kadek's stick, and Kadek loses his stick as he tried to brush the puck away from Barbashev. Weinstein crosses center ice, veers off to the left. He'll drop it for Barbashev. We try to get it back to Weinstein. It's stuck away by Quinn Warmoth. Now Filion will fire it off the Allen backboards. Ricketts chases after it, and Warmoth blocks out Ricketts for the puck. As the Americans will tap it off the boards. Hank Crone races after it. Felton one-hands it as Crone was trying to accept the puck. Now Felton gets belted in the side as the puck goes towards the far side. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the period. As action in Utah's zone. Allen gets it in deep. Wells plays behind his net. Weinstein gets it. He'll outlet it all the way to center ice. He goes towards Barbashev, who steps over the offensive line, gets the Filion down the middle. Backhand shot saved by Tendek. Filion gets it back. It glanced off his stick. Allen comes back the other way. Diagonal feed, angle right, off of Karan's stick. Karan dumps it into the right corner. He gets there before Salem. As Karan, wearing number 11, throws it back behind his back. As Crone gets towards the left wing. Lefty shot saved by Wells. Grizzlies will tap it out to center ice. Puck hit opposite the Allen line. As Gillette will come off the ice for a change. We played just over 2 minutes, still tied at 1. as the Americans will backhand it in. As Salem off his stick, taking his air Harrison Blaisdell. He skates towards his left, takes a lefty shot, and it goes wide. Wells might have gotten a piece of it as the puck ends up out of play with 17:44 left in the second. Draw's going to be back in the Grizzlies zone. So good action back and forth. Couple good hardworking shifts by the Grizzlies. As just about everybody on the Utah roster has taken a turn here in the start of the second period. Utah's been a strong road club. They're 6-4-1 away from Maverick Center. But that's not unusual in this league, as after all, road teams have more victories than home clubs in this league. The road team has won 51.8% of games this season and have a standing point in 62.3% of contests this year. So you talk about the Road Warriors, Grizzlies just one of them. Many teams have had good road records. Utah flips it in. Delayed offside, though, as Gillette got in there before the Grizzlies dumped it in. Now the Americans will fake it towards their right, carrying it across center ice. Is Braden Simmons-Fisher. He'll dump it in towards Wells. Now left side, backhand shot. That one goes wide on Wells. As puck towards the right side. Allen dancing around. Friesen holds his ground. Grizzlies will slice it back towards the right side. Ricocheting off the bench area. Lobster gets it. Skates towards the right circle. Take a righty shot. Kick saved by Tendek. Rebound goes towards Utah. Weinstein gets the puck off the left wing boards. He dances to the corner. Weinstein fires on the sharp angle and hits the side of the net as Allen comes out with the puck. Diagonal feed goes tape to tape. Allen pushes towards their left. The Americans skate towards the left circle. And on a backhand, it couldn't be held on as Blaisdell tried to put a move on Weinstein and Wells and lost control. Weinstein, diagonal feed angle left, goes tape to Genev. Danny Genev over the line, gets to Weinstein, who gets the Timofeyev off his stick. Timo backhands it out in front, looking for Ness, and it bounced over his stick. Genev gets it around one American. As Danny Genev, he's creative with the puck. He gets knocked down. Oh, no penalty. Oh, there is going to be a call. Genev got tripped up, and referee Grant Hendrick spotted it. So it's going to be a penalty on the Americans. Is going to the box is Jackson Decker. And that's one that had to be made. As Genev got tripped up and Decker ended up getting the puck, he would have had a breakaway if the official didn't spot it and make the call. So Jackson Decker gets a 2-minute penalty, and the Grizzlies go on the power play for the second time tonight. Asachuk talking things over with Thomas Caron. As the Grizzlies will have Luke Manning take the draw. Most of the time he's been out there with Webster, Ricketts, Shea, and Hanson Bukata. We believe that's the party of five for Utah on this power play. Draw one by the Americans. Anania will get it behind Allen's net, and slicing it heads Sam Sedley as Wells cuts it off the far goal line. Grizzlies skate from right to left during the period. We played about 4 minutes. Hanson Bukata gets dragged down from behind by Caron. No penalty. As Ricketts, left side, will chip it off the glass. Ricketts boxes out Anania from the puck as he'll slide it back towards the right point. Dancing around is Luke Manning. He fakes behind his back. Now he stops in the right corner. Now he'll pitch it up top. And the puck ended up going past the Grizzlies all the way down deep into the Utah end. Hanson Bukata has 5 power play assists this season. He'll glance it off the wall. Shea gets it. He's a strong power play forward over to Ricketts. Across the line, trying to get towards Webster. It's knifed away. The puck goes out of play into the Grizzlies bench. This play stops with 15:40 left in the second. And with that, both teams will make a line change. Thomas Caron, former Idaho Steelhead, back for his second stint as an American, hard-working forward. As he gets some water and goes towards the bench. Colby McCauley, another former Idaho Steelhead, as he'll take a seat. Caron spent his first 3 professional seasons on an AHL contract with the Manitoba Moose. Allen will slide it all the way towards Dylan Wells. He might have gotten some air under it. Christian Felton gets the puck. He'll get it towards Ness, who crosses center ice. Now chip it back behind him to somebody off the screen. Danny Genev crosses like a bolt of lightning, steps over the offensive line, splits the double team. Genev skates in, shot, saved by Tendek. But what a move by Genev. Puck out in front. Now Genev gets it, tried to get towards Timofeyev. It's sticked away. Now Genev gets it towards the left side. He's exciting to watch. Up top to Felton. Now back to the left wing for Timofeyev. Over to Friesen. One-timer saved by Tendek. Backhand shot saved by Tendek again as Friesen gets the puck late in the power play. Trying to get to Felton. It goes past him all the way towards Wells. Wells outlets to center ice, and it goes towards Timofeyev. Left side, he'll take a righty shot. That one goes over Tendek and over the crossbar, stays in play. Felton dances around. As he's over the left point, he moves to his right. Now he'll put the puck towards Genev just outside the right circle. Centering pass shot. That one goes wide of Tendek. Now the Americans will slice it all the way past Christian Felton. 10 seconds left in the power play. Wells at the near goal line says, come this way. As it goes towards the near corner, and it was in a spot where Wells couldn't play it. As an American goes down, we're back to 5-on-5 skating. Neither team has a power play goal so far. As Luke Salem crosses center ice, we're tied at 1. Salem will bounce one in as it goes towards the right side. As Gillette behind the net out there with Barbashev. Allen clears it all the way out, and that should be icing on the Americans, and it is, as the Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw with 14:03 left in the second. So a good penalty kill by Allen. Both teams have really taken a lot of pride in being better defensively. Not only 5-on-5 play, but on their penalty kill. Grizzlies had a tough time on the penalty kill last season. They're certainly much improved this year. And the Allen Americans, with new head coach Steve Martinson, they've gone back to a bit more of a defensive identity. Manning will take the drives out there with Lebster and Shea. Shea's got a point in 4 straight games, and he has a point in 9 of his last 10 games. Shea's certainly been a consistent performer. Manning wins the draw. Winslow on the left point. He'll backhand it towards Shea, who gets pinned to the wall. As Lebster gets engulfed by Simmons Fisher. Manning gets hit behind Allen's net. Lebster gets spun around by Simmons Fisher. Allen will spin it out towards center ice. Americans will loft it towards the Utah line. As Winslow gets it, he gets bounced to the boards. Luckily gets back to his feet. He got hit by Caron. Lebster falls down as Utah gets back towards the right wing. Lebster fakes it to Shea, skates around Allen's net to the near side. He'll tattoo it off the boards to Winslow. Back to Lebster. Instead, Lebster lets it go towards the right corner. As Shea gets some lumber in the back from an American, he'll feed it up top. Dancing around the Grizzlies, skating towards Shea. As Manning got hit along the wall, Shea loses his balance, battling with Simmons Fisher. Lebster pushes Simmons Fisher in the back. Lebster trips over the Allen blue line and falls down. Americans, right wing, they'll backhand it in. Wells behind his net, cuts it off. We played about 7 minutes of this second period. We're still tied at 1. Grizzlies 0 for 2 on the power play. Allen's 0 for 3. Manning, rink-wide feed, angle right, goes towards Salem. Salem starting pass to Manning, backhand shot, kick save by Tendek. Boy, I don't know how Manning wasn't able to get it past Tendek, but the Allen goaltender makes a key save. Grizzlies still in the offensive zone. Left wing Barbashev slices one across. It was a tough one for Shea to handle. Shea gets pushed towards the corner by Sedley. Barbashev now gets the puck, trying to get up top to Hanson Buchanan, but it was a soft pass, and the Americans clear it all the way back towards Utah ice. Grizzlies, rink-wide feed angle left, goes past Barbashev and all the way down for a Utah icing. As play stops with 12:26 left in the second. Boy, Luke Manning, I wonder if they're going to show a replay. Manning had a great A chance skating in. Looked like he got everybody off balance, and somehow David Tendek was able to make a key save to keep it a tie game. Boy, a few good shifts there by the forward line of Manning, Shea, and Lebster here so far in the second period. Jack Ricketts talking things over with Barbashev. Ricketts a plus 40 in his last 2 college seasons. He crouches down low. The draw won by Colton Hargrove, former Boston Bruins draft pick. Hargrove left side shot saved by Wells off his chest as the Grizzlies race across center ice. Ricketts will move it ahead. It looked like they were trying to get to Ricketts from Filion. It was overled for Ricketts. Allen over the offensive line. Watts down the middle. Take a lefty shot, and that's kicked away by Wells' right pad. As Allen back up top. Troy Murray will move it towards the right side. Ladon, lefty shot saved by Wells, and he dives in the crease to cover up. 11:56 of the time remaining second period. We're still tied at 1. Both clubs have looked good on both sides of the ice. In particular, both clubs have looked good defensively. Timeout. We're tied at 1 on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. so you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say you get more from less.
We're tied at 1. 11:56 is left in the second period. Utah has outshot Allen 18-15. Danny Genev leads Utah with 4 shots. Evan Friesen and Reed Lepster each have 2 shots, and a bunch of Grizzlies with 1 shot. For the Americans, Colton Hargrove leads the way with 4 shots, 2 each for Harrison Blaisdell, Trevor Ladon, Braden Watts, and Andre Anania. Looks like fans having a good time over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Looks like kind of a modest crowd, although they have listed the attendance at 5,780, which is pretty close to capacity. Not sure if that's right, but looks like another good crowd here on a Friday night. Allen wins the draw. They're in the offensive zone. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we see it, or they skate from right to left as we see it from Flow Sports. Americans skating 5-on-5. They'll move it to the right side as Allen's in the offensive zone. Americans dance around. Sedley will dump it back to the right side. Now Allen gets up top. Now across Sedley. He's got the blue line near his feet. He'll skate towards left point. Sedley surveys. Now gets to the right side. Has to check all alone. Lefty shot goes over the crossbar. Stays in play. Grizzlies out towards center ice. Shea chasing after it. Allen boxes Shea out for the puck. As the Americans, Sam Sedley races across center ice. Now he'll guide it towards his left. Americans look to fire towards the net, and it's sticked away. As Felton did a good job making sure the Americans didn't get much of a shooting angle. As Shea over towards neutral ice. He'll get it ahead to Friesen. Friesen gets hacked by Blaisdell over to Genea. Back to the right wing. Weinstein, his lefty shot goes wide. Puck stays in play. Allen looking for it deep in their own zone. The Americans will spread the ice. Less than 11 minutes left in the second period. Grizzlies switch up forwards. And Sedley steered it, but it looked like he glanced off a Grizzlies stick. It stays deep in the Allen zone. Utah gets it in the left wing, but then it looked like they lost it. Everybody trying to find the puck as Allen loses control of it. Timofeyev will feed it back towards the Utah line. Grizzlies spread it out. As Salem will nudge it towards his left at center ice for Genev off his stick. Timofeyev will bounce one across over the offensive line. Kabori Dunn moves it across, but nobody was home but by an American. They get it off the wall, 2-on-1. Cron fires it out in front as Crone couldn't accept it as he was being held up by Kabori Dunn's stick. Now Gildon left side. Skates towards the left goal line. Sharp angled shot, and that goes high. Deflects out the top of the glass and goes out of play with 10:06 left in the second. So faceoff's going to be over in the Grizzlies zone. Kabori Dunn seeing a lot of action for the Grizzlies tonight. Dunn wore number 28 in the first half of last season for the Grizzlies. And this is his 3rd game for Utah, as he just signed last week. Started the year with the Worcester Railers and played 7 games. Done 6'2" and 180 pounds. Manning will take the face-off against Gildon, but the linesman says we'll do it over again. Utah has outshot Allen 9-8 here in the second period. Shots have been pretty close to even. In fact, they are dead even. Both teams with 18 shots. So linesman trying to make sure he gets the procedure right. Gildon talking with the linesman, and Manning just kind of waiting with his stick on his knees. And puck just kind of stays in the face-off circle for a few seconds. Rugby scrum. Manning throws it towards the left corner. All Ends gets blasted by an American. Ends gets back to his feet. He has Utah's lone goal that was scored late in the first period. As a battle towards the right side, Grizzlies engulf an American. As Warmoth holds up a Grizzly. And now there's a scrum along the right wing boards. Manning trying to yank it away. Handsome Yukata trying to hold his ground. Shea gets held up along the boards by Cron. Now Utah comes out with the puck. Lepster left wings it to Shea, who gets around Gildon. Shea trying to feed it towards the left circle. Puck glanced off the Lepster stick. Now to Weinstein. Lefty shot saved by Tendek. Rebound goes to the Americans. Allen will throw it to the middle of the ice, and the Grizzlies spread as Lepster hacks away at an American. Now Lepster gets the puck back. Reed Lepster taps it ahead, but it glanced off of Corona, goes towards the Utah backboards as Lepster gets it towards Weinstein, and he outlets towards center ice. Manning, left wing. He takes a lefty shot, and somehow Tendek was able to make the stop. As Manning trying to go stick side on Tendek, and Tendek just kind of held his ground. At first, it looked like he was having a tough time figuring out where it was. It was under his arm, and the puck laid in the crease, and Tendek was able to Stop play with an even 9 minutes left in the second. We're tied at 1. Let's see if there's a timeout. Both teams are anticipating one. It looks like there is. We're tied at 1 on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
We're tied at 1 as there's an even 9 minutes left in the second period, so we're past the halfway point. Colby McCauley scored 4:20 into the first period with Morrison and Caddick getting the assist. And then the Grizzlies tied it up 16-29 in as Colby ends. Got a drop pass from Genev, and ends fired away past the Allen goaltender. As ends now has 2 goals, and both of them against David Tendek. Genev with his team leading 10th assist, and Griffin Ness with his 6th assist of the year. So we're tied at 1 as they show Luke Manning's last shot. Tendek trying to figure out where it was. Didn't look like it passed the goal line. Manning's had some good looks here in the second period. It's going to be an offensive zone drop for the Grizzlies over in the right circle as Ricketts is out there with Filion, and we believe Maxime Barbashev off the screen. As draw kind of comes off a couple sticks, Grizzlies continue to battle. Americans get it over in the near corner. Both teams very familiar with each other, 5th game against each other in the last 9 days. And so with that, it seems like both teams seem to have a pretty good idea of how to face the other. And so it's just kind of been a stalemate here so far tonight. Shots pretty close to even. It doesn't seem like either team's surprising the other. So both teams are kind of simplifying things, as neither team's really going to surprise the other in just about any facet. Ricketts gets over to the right side. Lefty shot by Winslow misses wide. Now Ricketts steers one towards the net. It's kicked away by Tendek, and the puck goes out to center ice. Grizzlies back defensively. Allen backhands it towards the center ice logo, and it's backhanded in towards Wells, who keeps the play alive. Winslow around Utah's net, and a Grizzly delivered a basketball screen right in front of referee Grant Hendrick, and there was no call. Puck from neutral ice will slide all the way to Tendek. Ricketts chases after it, but Tendek covers up in front of the crease. 8:03 is left in the second, and the Grizzlies will have another offensive zone draw. Both goaltenders are former draft picks. David Tendek, former 6th-round pick by the Arizona Coyotes, and Dylan Wells is a former draft pick by the Edmonton Oilers, 5th round in 2016, 123rd pick overall. Friesen will take the drives out there with Manning and Gillette. As Allen wins the faceoff, Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the second period. Allen skies it to center ice, gloved and dropped by Hanson Bukata. And now Manning, right side, his shot. That's blocked away by Tendek, but Manning's had some good looks in the second period. As the puck goes back towards center ice, Friesen will get it back to a defenseman. Utah will move it ahead. Allen gets it back deep in their own zone as John Gillette trying to shadow Sam Sedley. Sedley will tap it off the glass. Puck hipping out to center ice as Utah trying to move it ahead. It was wide of the mark as Allen. They'll dump it back in. Hanson Bukata races after it as the Grizzlies, Colby ends. He avoids an Allen check. This puck in the Grizzly zone. Now Hanson Bukata gets it. Right wing feed goes tape to tape. Gillette trying to find a cutting Hanson Bukata out in front. Good defensive play by Harrison Blaisdell to cut in front of Hanson Bukata. Now the puck from the left wing's fired towards the net. It goes wide as Weinstein had a pretty good look from just outside the left circle. Now shot. Friesen fires away. Now we get a whistle. Oh, it looked like Friesen got knocked down, but referee Grant Hendrick doesn't look like he's going to call much here in the second period. Puck towards the right corner as Friesen gets some lumber, make that Timofeyev. Weinstein will drop it off looking for Ness. It glanced up in Ness's stick, and Allen comes back up with it. Sedley over the offensive line. He gets dragged down by Ness. Now Sedley trying to get back to his feet, and Ness lays on him. Grizzlies will get across center ice. Genev gets around one skater, now gets around a second. Genev splits a double team, drops an uprighty shot, and is blocked away by Tendek as Felton had a backhand move on the Allen goaltender. As Hank Crone gets the puck, and he'll slice one to Caron. Caron races across. Weinstein gets around him. He'll take a lefty shot, and he scores. Thomas Cron just kind of overpowered his way around Weinstein and somehow all in one motion was able to shovel it past Dylan Wells. And with 6:13 left in the second, the Americans take a 2-1 lead. Well, a good move by Cron as Weinstein had Cron along his right side, and Cron didn't have much of a shooting angle and didn't get much of a follow-through. Just kind of fired one past Dylan Wells. So Cron gets his third goal of the season. The fans chant red, red, as they have a 2-1 lead with 6:13 left in the second. Draw at center ice. Manning will take it against Hargrove. And Allen wins the draw after a glance off a couple sticks. Warmoth will slide it back towards the near side as Allen will steer one angle left. It goes off the boards and all the way down for an icing as there's 5 minutes and 58 seconds left in the second. So see if we can get an update on that Cron goal. It was scored 13:47 in. Hank Crone and Jackson Decker picked up the assists. Grizzlies have a shot advantage of 24-20. Utah's outshot Allen 15-10 here in the second period. But it's the Americans that lead 2-1. Tendek's made some big saves for the Americans in the second period. He has stopped 23 of 24. Dylan Wells on the Utah side has saved 18 of 20. As puck back at neutral ice, Salem will throw it in. Tendek behind his net. As Grizzlies skate from right to left here in the period. The Americans will carry it across center ice. As Hargrove stops in the left corner. He gets pushed by Salem. Webster tries to join the play. Webster gets the puck. He'll drop it back as Utah gets it in front of their net for Winslow, who moves it ahead left wing. As Manny gets hit in the back by Caddick. Webster towards the left goal line. Skates around Anania. Overskates the puck. Now gets to Shea. Shea gets held up by Simmons Fisher. As there's 5:15 on a moving clock as they spot shadow Thomas Cron in the Allen bench. McCauley dumps it in. McCauley had a first period goal and Cron a second period tally. Puck along the boards. Hanson Buchanan gets held up. Villian battles with Simmons Fisher. As the Grizzlies, Colbiens gets it. And he will helicopter it all the way deep into the American zone. Villian races after it there. He's got good speed, but icing is on the Grizzlies with 4:53 left in the second. So Draw's going to come back towards Dylan Wells. Don't forget, this is the second of 3 straight over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center this week. Saturday night's going to be a 6:10 start in the Mountain Time Zone. Coverage begins at 5:50. And then the Atlanta Gladiators will be in for a 3-game set at Maverick Center. It'll be next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And the Teddy Bear Toss is going to be 8 days from now on December 13th. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. Utah wins the draw. They'll tap it off the glass. Icing is already waved off. Simmons Fisher, the son of former Detroit Red Wing Yuri Fisher, will drop it off behind him. Diagonal feed, angle right. And that one bounces towards an American as Thomas Cron gets it towards Crone. Crone centers it. The only guy there was a Grizzly. Racing across center ice is Colbiens. Across the center red line, he fires on towards Tendek. And Tendek gloves it, and he holds on as he stopped it in the butterfly position about ankle high. 4:26 is left in the second. There's a timeout on the ice as Allen has a 2-1 lead as Thomas Caron scored his third of the year. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the second period. Allen leads 2-1. Fans doing the chicken dance over in Allen, Texas. Everybody looking like they're having a good time. They've already counted the attendance over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. It looks like it's pretty close to a sellout. It's 5,780 is the announced attendance over in Allen, Texas. Grizzlies have had some good looks. They have 16 shots in the second period, but none of them have gone past David Tendek, who's off to an outstanding start this year. Tendek had a couple good games with the Florida Everblades and then just recently signed with the Americans. Draw one by Allen. They'll tap it off the glass. It's gloved and dropped by Weinstein, who kept it in. Now Allen pushes Weinstein and will race out to center ice. Blaisdell gets dragged around with Weinstein. Blaisdell gets it back. Right side, lefty shot. Say rebound shot and a score. I believe that's Troy Murray. He scores from the left wing with 4:12 left in the second. It looks like that's Murray's first ECHL goal. Used to play in the SPHL in the Federal League. It's his 15th game this year, and it's his first goal. He had 9 goalless games last year with South Carolina. So save that puck as Troy Murray scored from the left wing. 2 unanswered here in the second period by the Americans, and they have a 3-1 lead. Blaisdell gets a pat on the head from Spencer Asachuk. We'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way to get momentum back in this game. As Allen, they've been playing a bit of a north-south game. Americans have made quick decisions with the puck. Looked like a rebound off the initial shot off of Wells, and then Murray was able to put it away. So the Americans throw it back deep into the Grizzlies zone. Utah's now down 2. Gillette backhands it ahead looking for Lepster. And Allen rings it around the rosy as it goes off the wall. As now Allen gets back in their own zone. Americans will tap it off the boards. Puck goes to center ice. And it's skied in by Sedley. Wells stays in net. As back behind the net, Colton Hargrove with his long reach gets it tapped away now. And another American gets up top. Sedley across, one-timer by Warmoth is misconnected. As behind the net, Hargrove gets pushed by Friesen. Hargrove gets it back to Caddick. Allen kind of looks like a basketball team with all the size they've got on the ice right now. Americans at neutral ice will dump it back into the Grizzlies zone. But a couple Americans were still in, so offside is Allen with 3:17 left in the second. Troy Murray got the goal with Harrison Blaisdell getting the assist, 15:48 in. And that's Murray's first ECHL goal. He did have some time in the SPHL and Federal League, but this is his 25th ECHL game, and it's his first goal. For Harrison Blaisdell, he had 2 goals last Friday in an Allen 4-2 victory. The Grizzlies have the puck with 3:10 left in the second, looking to find a way to change momentum. Genev off his stick as it goes towards center ice. Allen gets around one Grizzly and Griffin Ness. Genev holds his blue line, as does Handsome Yukata. Now taking it's Braden Watts. Centering pass, shot, and a score. Watts to Asachuk to the back of the net. And just like that, it's now a 4-1 game. And this one's gotten away from the Grizzlies. I'm not sure if Asachuk got a piece of it, as the Grizzly tried to intercept the centering pass. If Asachuk got a piece of it, that will be his 3rd of the year, if not, it'd be Braden Watts' 7th. So 3 goals in a pretty quick span here. Karan scored 13:47 in. Murray, 15:48 in. And now, with 2:55 left in the second, Americans score 17:05 in. So 3 goals in about 3.5 minutes. Americans dumping into the Grizzlies zone. We'll see if we get a detail of the Allen goal. They might have to look at for a little bit to figure out if it's Asachuk or Watts that got the goal. Felton, right point, offensive zone. He fires it in wide as he missed the net glove side on 10 deck. Allen will fire it back towards Wells from neutral ice. Wells will cover up, and the Americans will have an offensive zone draw with 2:26 left in the second. Allen, for whatever reason, has been a tough matchup for the Grizzlies, as the Americans have won 3 of the 4 games coming into play tonight head-to-head. Allen won by identical 4-2 scores in the first 2 games of the set at Maverick Center last week, and then the Grizzlies won 3-2 on Wednesday morning. Hank Crone scored all 3 Americans' goals, and Reed Lebster, Jack Ricketts and Neil Shea each had a goal for Utah, but Allen won 3-2. They still haven't identified the goal scorer for Allen, whether it's Asachuk or Watts. As Grizzlies skate in, right side, righty shot saved by Tendek. The Americans will bounce it out to center ice. And Allen in control of the puck. They dump it in on Wells. Felton gets the puck. He's at the far goal line. Arm is raised by the linesman for a delayed offside. Grizzlies out to center ice. Weinstein gains the center red line, and he'll filter it in. Puck ricochets off the backboard. Somebody off the screen gets it. It's a Grizzly over to Shea, right side, lefty shot, saved by Tendek. And he holds on. It was a glove save. Tendek kind of bobbled it for a quarter of a second and then was able to regather it in the crease with Luke Manning chasing after it. So the Grizzlies with an offensive zone draw with 1:48 left in the second. Pretty good look from Neil Shea over on the right side. The Grizzlies have had some good looks in the second period. Utah has outshot Allen 19-12 so far in the second period. So it's a 4-1 Allen lead. 4 goals in about the span of 3.5 minutes. Draws over in the right circle. Ricketts will take the face-off. He's out there with Barbashev and Christoph Filion. They've given the goal to Braden Watts. They determined that Asachuk did not get a piece of the centering pass, and so Watts gets his 7th of the year. And they'll figure out the assist a little bit later on, but they've given the goal to Braden Watts instead of Asachuk. Grizzlies in the offensive zone. They win the faceoff as Barbashev gets a rough ride from behind by Sam Sedley. Ricketts tried to curl one out in front. It goes wide past everybody and all the way deep into the Grizzlies zone. Colbiens runs it down, and he'll slice one towards his right. Utah directs it to Barbashev, who will stop over in the left point, and he'll spin it along the wall behind the net. Grizzlies dance around as Utah is trying to find a way to climb back into this one. As puck slams to the middle of the ice, Sedley gets it. Sedley moves to his left. Americans try to center it to Sedley. He got his stick held up, and puck slides all the way towards Wells, who makes a stop, holds on in the crease with 1:05 left in the second. So it looks like right now they've listed Watts' goal as unassisted, 17:05 in. So the Americans with 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds, if my Kearns high math is correct. We'll go over all the scoring during the second intermission. As the Americans win the draw, they're in the offensive zone. As a Grizzly gets spun around, and that's Luke Salem. Puck towards the right corner. 3-on-3 scrum. As Hargrove holds his ground on Gillette. Puck slides in the middle of the ice. Shea will clear it towards behind Utah's net. Now bouncing out towards the right side. 43 seconds left. Warmoth gets it up top. As Allen fires lefty shot that misses wide. As the Americans are getting a lot of traffic out in front of Wells. As the Utah goaltender looks over his right shoulder. Scrum along the boards. Salem tries to hold his ground. So does Friesen. Puck goes towards Shea along the far wing wall. Shea will veer off to his left. He's now down the middle of the ice. Gets to Friesen onside. Friesen centers it to Gillette. Lefty shot. He couldn't get it off as he had an American cutting in front of him. Weinstein towards the left side trying to keep it in. He collides with Decker after the whistle as Utah was called for offside. As there's an even 15 seconds left in the second period. Just a tough second period for the Grizzlies and really the last 2 games. You know, Utah has been a pretty good second period club, but on Wednesday, Allen outscored Utah 2-0, and so far in the third period, Allen has outscored Utah 3-0. The Grizzlies have scored a decent amount of second period goals, but so has the opposition. As Utah has now given up 11 second period goals in the last 6 games, with this being the 6th game. Puck goes deep into the Grizzlies zone, and that will do it for 40 minutes over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, and Utah's going to be looking for a comeback. Allen got second period goals from Thomas Caron, Troy Murray, and Braden Watts. They scored 3 unanswered in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. So with that, Allen leads 4-1. Grizzlies have outshot the Americans 27-23. We'll come back and recap the first 2 periods and also talk some hockey and go over some league scores, maybe even a couple of college football scores as well. Steve Martinson, the former Salt Lake Golden Eagle, walks off the ice. He has to be happy with the way the Americans have played. Martinson played in 32 games with the 1984-85 Salt Lake Golden Eagles. Allen leads 4-1 after 2 periods. We'll come back and talk some hockey. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
After 2 periods over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, the Allen Americans have a 4-1 lead. Americans scored first, 4:20 into the contest, as Colby McCauley got his 3rd of the year. Brad Morrison and Danny Caddick with the assists. Originally, we thought that Colton Hargrove had picked up the assist instead of Morrison, but they say there were 2 sevens on the Allen American jersey, as McCauley scored from the left wing. It was a pretty nice passing play for the Americans. They took a 1-0 lead. Grizzlies really played well in the second half of the first period. They had one hard-working shift after another. Colby Enns got a drop pass from Genev in the right circle, and Enns fired away past Tendek. It didn't go high, didn't go low, just somehow got through the Allen goaltender stick side. And Enns with his 2nd of the year. Both of them have come against David Tendek, as Enns scored in the second period last Saturday in Utah's 3-2 win. That was his first pro goal, and tonight was his second. Genev and Ness with the assist, and it's important for Danny Genev to get the assist, and it was a main assist, as he now leads Utah with 10 helpers on the year. Genev came into play tonight, and a tie for the club lead with assists, as Aiden Hansen-Bukata, Tyler Gratton, as well as Genev each had 9. So the score was tied after 1 period. The Grizzlies had to feel pretty confident and happy with the way they had performed. Allen outshot Utah 10-9 in the first period. And going into the second, Utah was looking to find a way to take advantage of the game, and the Grizzlies had plenty of good scoring chances. Luke Manning had 2 or 3 good looks. Some other grade A chances. David Tendek, you got to tip your hat. He's played a pretty good game in net for the Americans, and Utah just has to keep trying to get that real estate out in front. Utah outshot Allen 18-14 in the second period, but the Americans scored 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Thomas Cron scored 13:47 in, with Crone and Decker gained the assists. 15:48 in, Troy Murray converted on a rebound from a Harrison Blaisdell shot. It was Murray's first ECHL goal. He did have some goals in the Federal League as well as the SPHL. And then Braden Watt scored 17:05 in, with Blaisdell and Warmouth getting the assists. Of the 27 shots Utah has through 2 periods, Genev leads away with 4. Friesen, Weinstein, Manning, and Lepster each had 3. And Neil Shea has 2 shots on goal. He had 20 shots in the first 4 games of this series. Jack Ricketts has 1 shot for the Grizzlies. Ricketts' 5-game point scoring streak is on the line. Dylan Wells in net has saved 20 of 24. For the Americans, it's a 2-assist game for Harrison Blaisdell. Right now, it looks like he's the only American with a multiple-point game. Blaisdell, as well as Sam Sedley and Spencer Asachuk, are each a +2. Special teams haven't really played a factor. Utah is 0 for 2 on the power play. Allen is 0 for 3. All 3 of Allen's power plays came in the first period, and that's really where it seemed like the Grizzlies started to build some momentum as the first period progressed, is just one successful penalty kill after another, and that's where the Grizzlies seemed to build their momentum. There was only 1 penalty that was called in the second period, as Jackson Decker got a hooking minor 3:37 in. So see if the Grizzlies have a third period comeback in them. Allen leads 4-1, and really for the Grizzlies all year long, 3 has been the magic number. If they can score 3 or more, they're usually either going to win the game or they're going to be solidly in it. And if they score less than 3, they don't seem to have too much of a chance. You know, when scoring 3 goals this year, 3 or more, the Grizzlies are 7-2. But when they score less than 3, Utah is 1-7-2 on the year. Allen did score the first goal of the evening. Oddly enough, in away games, when the opposition has scored first, Utah is 1-2. Just like it seems like with everybody, it's important to get off to a quick start. Utah's 3-5-1 when the opposition scores first. So see if Utah can find a way to just get it on the board early in the third period and see if they can make a comeback bid. You know, Allen's one of the bigger teams in the league, and they're certainly a physical bunch, and it's not necessarily the team that you want to play 6 straight times over a 10-day stretch. But, Allen's played some good hockey, and for the Grizzlies, they just have to keep battling away, just as they did late in the first period, just one hard-working shift at a time. Other action across the league, we'll get to that on the other side. We'll be back in 1 minute. After 2 periods, the Americans lead the Grizzlies 4-1. This is the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
Since 1939, America First has helped people start businesses, buy homes and cars, and achieve their financial goals. Today, our top priority is still the financial success of you and your family, which is why we're giving new members $100 when they sign up for a basic savings and checking account, and another $100 when they upgrade to premium checking and enroll in and use direct deposit. So head to AmericaFirst.com today and join the credit union that always puts its members first.
Second intermission, Allen leads 4-1. Other action across the league, most games have gone final. In the Eastern Conference, Adirondack defeated Maine 5-1. Indy gets a 7-2 victory over Cincinnati as Indy scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. No former Grizzlies in the goal-scoring sheet for the Fuel as their record goes to 8-7-2-1 on the year. Worcester defeats Reading 2-1. No former Grizzlies with goals there. In a shootout, Savannah defeats South Carolina. Actually ended in overtime. Savannah 4, South Carolina 3. Atlanta gets a 7-2 victory over Jacksonville as the Gladiators go to 13-4 on the year. Louis Boudon had 2 goals. The Gladiators certainly spreaded the wealth around. 7 goals on 28 shots. Johnson and Crane had the goals for Jacksonville. And remember, the Atlanta Gladiators will be at Maverick Center next week for a 3-game series, December 10th, 12th, and 13th. We're 8 days away from the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss. Utah had just about 5,400 teddy bears last season. We want to see if we can surpass that mark this year. Get your tickets to UtahGrizzlies.com. break up the Orlando Solar Bears. They started the year 1-12, and now they've won 4 in a row. As Luchuk scored 2 goals for Orlando, they defeat Greenville 5-2 on the road. Orlando goes to 5-12 on the season. Greenville is 8-2. Florida gets a big 8-4 victory as they scored 5 goals in the second and 3 in the third. Former Grizzly goaltender Will Cranley gets the victory in net. He saved 21 of 25. Former Grizzly Kyle Betts had 1 goal, and Taryn Pfizer had 1 assist for the Everblades, as their record goes to 13-5-1-1 on the year. Jeff Carr's Norfolk Admirals fall to 5-11-2. Wheeling gets a 3-1 victory over Greensboro. Former Grizzly Craig Armstrong, who recently had a 5-point game for the Nailers, he scored 111 into the third. After 2 periods, Kalamazoo and Bloomington are tied at 2. Quinn Preston has both of the Kalamazoo goals. Games in progress. After 2 periods, Wichita leads Tulsa 4-2. Former Allen American Kyle Krankovic has 2 goals to lead the Thunder. McMaster and Smith each have tallies for the Tulsa Oilers. On Wednesday, Vyacheslav Buchets, the Tulsa goaltender, actually played in 7 games of the Oilers this year. He made his NHL debut playing in the third period of the Mammoth 7-0 victory over the Anaheim Ducks. Buchets allowed 3 third-period goals. So it's good to see somebody from a professional team from Utah score on Buchets. Grizzlies were just 1-4 last season against Vyacheslav Buchets, who made his NHL debut for Anaheim in the third period on Wednesday. Buchets has played in 7 games of the Tulsa Oilers this season. One other game in progress. Idaho gets 2 goals from Liam Malmquist and 1 from Francisco Arcuri. After 1 period, Idaho leads the defending champion 12 Riviera Lions 3-0. And getting underway in a few minutes over at Tahoe Blue Event Center, Rapid City is at Tahoe. Rapid City's 8-9-2 on the season. Tahoe is 13-7-1. So that's scores along the 4-letter league. When we come back, we'll check in on the 5 NHL games, including the Mammoth and their battle against the Vancouver Canucks. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
5 NHL games tonight. After 1 period, the Utah Mammoth have a 1-0 lead over Vancouver. Mikhail Sergachev scored a power play goal exactly 16 minutes in, with Clayton Keller and Dylan Gunther getting the assists. Early third period, Sharks and Stars are tied at 1. Jason Robertson has the Stars goal, and Colin Graff has scored for San Jose. That game is played not that far away from where the Grizzlies are. It's just about a half-hour drive from Allen, Texas, towards the downtown Dallas area. And so the Stars are at home taking on the Sharks. That game is tied at 1 early in the third period. At 8 o'clock, the Capitals are at the Ducks. 2 finals in the National Hockey League. Golden Knights shut out the Devils 3-0. Schmid got a shutout of 24 shots. Jack Eichel had 2 assists, and Thomas Hertl had 1 goal, as Vegas gets the victory over New Jersey 3-0. And the Jets defeat the Sabres 4-1. Cole Koepke had 1 goal and 1 assist. And Tanner Pearson also had a goal for the Jets. As even though Buffalo outshot Winnipeg 35-23, it was the Jets getting 4 goals on 23 shots. They defeat Buffalo 4-1. So that's the 5 games across the National Hockey League. The Grizzlies NHL affiliate, the Colorado Avalanche, will be at Madison Square Garden tomorrow morning. There'll be a 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time Zone start. Avalanche are 19-2-6 on the year, and the Rangers are 15-12-2. And most nights, when you're dreaming, it's about 4 a.m. For me, I dream about being at Madison Square Garden. That's the one arena on my bucket list where if you were to say, what's the game you want to broadcast a game from? Madison Square Garden is definitely it. And Connor McGay, he gets to relive my dream, or he gets to realize my dream tomorrow morning, the Colorado Avalanche radio announcer, and that should be a ton of fun. Avalanche have played some great hockey. They did lose on Thursday 6-3 to the New York Islanders, but Colorado has just lost twice in regulation this season. Rangers are trying to get better on home ice. New York's been an outstanding road club, but for whatever reason, they've had a tough time winning at home. The Rangers are 3-8-1 at home, but on the road, New York is 12-4-1. We talked about earlier tonight how teams across the league, the Grizzlies play in, more road teams have won than home teams this year. In fact, the road teams in this league have a .518 winning percentage, meaning they've won 51.8% of all games, and road teams have a standing point in 62.3 games this season. Well, Utah's been a strong club on Fridays this year. They're 4-2-1 in everybody's favorite day of the week, but right now it's the Americans that have a 4-1 lead. The lights are out at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, and everybody's taking their light from their phone and kind of swaying it back and forth. A pretty good scene over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. When we come back, we'll have third period action as Allen leads Utah 4-1. You've been tuned into the second intermission report on the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear. We made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down. We go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverick, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
We're about set for third period action as the lights are still off over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. We'll see if the Grizzlies have some petrol in the tank as it's a 4-1 game. Allen scored 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds to turn a 1-1 tie into a 4-1 Americans lead. Grizzlies in the third period will skate from left to right as we see it from Flow Sports. Your mind's eye see it on YouTube. Allen from right to left. Americans in a white jersey. It's kind of a sharp-looking uniform with a bit of red mixed in. The only shade of navy blue is on the Texas flag on both shoulders of the jersey. Grizzlies are in a black jersey with white numbers and professional green trim. They'll put 20 minutes on the clock to start the third period. Pretty good crowd. They've already announced over 5,700 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Sam Sedley skating back and forth, getting ready for the third period. Utah will start out with the forward line of Christoph Filion, Jack Ricketts, and Maxime Barbashev. We're underway as McCauley will tap it into the Grizzlies zone. And the puck slides towards Dylan Wells. Colby Enns is out there with Aiden Hansen-Bukata to start the third period. Ricketts races across center ice. Will drop it to Filion over to Hansen-Bukata, left side shot. And that one goes wide. Might have gotten a little bit of the post. Didn't really get a good look as there's a ticket scan thing that kind of blocked the vision of a little bit of the shot. As Barbashev high slide, his lefty shot misses wide. Filion fires towards the net, and that's blocked by Decker. As Ricketts gets pushed to the boards behind Tendek's net. Got pushed by Colby McCauley. As Barbashev has to go past him. The Americans tap it to neutralize. Grizzlies reset. Utah will slice it to the middle of the ice. As Ricketts steps over the offensive line, fires lefty shot. That one must have glanced off an Allen stick. As the Americans will skate in their own zone. Now they outlet it ahead. As it went past Caddick. Wells behind his net. He'll get to Weinstein, who tries to locate it. Weinstein backhands it ahead. Puck off a couple sticks. Felton moves it out to center ice. Grizzlies race over the offensive line. Genev over to the right side for Timofeyev. Righty shot saved by Tendek. And he holds on. 18:53 is left in the third. Utah's best forward line so far tonight has been Timofeyev, Griffin Ness, and Danny Genev. And they were on the ice creating the scoring chance. Timofeyev had a good look from the right wing. Faceoffs in the right circle. Griffin Ness will take the draw against Spencer Asachuk, who's been with the Americans for about a decade. Linesman Trent Williams drops the puck. Allen wins the faceoff. Action deep in the American zone as both teams will spread the ice. Allen gets a pass Sedley towards Felton, who fires it back in. Bounced off the Simmons-Fisher stick. Now Anania along the left wing. He'll float it out towards the Utah line. Weinstein gets it, the 20-year-old who played with Spokane in the WHL. Skates behind Wells' net. Weinstein's built confidence over the last few games. He stands behind Wells' net. Weinstein fakes to his right. As there's 18:20 on a moving clock, third period, Weinstein continues to survey behind his net. Now Weinstein will slice the puck off the left wing boards and it goes to neutralize, glanced off a stick, and now to the Allen line. It's run down by Anania, number 86. He played with Savannah last year. Grizzlies throw up behind Evan Friesen, who was cutting it horizontally at the Allen line. As Braden Watts, left side, his lefty shot goes over the crossbar as Watts was being challenged by Dunn. Puck towards the left side, lefty shot, and that's blocked by Tendek. Puck slides towards the right wing. Dunn fires towards the net, and it's blocked. As Blaisdell gets held up along the boards, he has 2 assists tonight. Grizzlies get the puck at neutralize. As Salem fires it back in. It ricochets off the Allen end wall. As the Americans will spread the ice, we play 2.5 minutes of this third period. Grizzlies with a slight shot advantage through 2 frames. Rink wide feed angle left, connects towards Gildon, and he'll fire it in. Wells lets it go towards the right corner. As the Americans get it up top. Somebody off the screen across to Decker. Left side, his lefty shot's blocked in front of Wells. Puck kicks towards the right corner. Crone dances around the right side, spins, curls the puck towards the middle of the ice. As Cron and Gildon try to get, they collide with each other. Grizzlies come back the other way. Manning dances around in the right wing. He'll get to the middle of the ice. Hands Buchanan, lefty shot, and that's kicked away by the left pad of Tendek as the puck goes towards the corner. Ends towards the right side. And a scrum along the wall. Decker collides with Manning. Shea in the area. Puck goes back off the screen to center ice. And beyond into the Grizzly zone, run down by Hanson Bukata. He'll fidget one towards the right side. Shea fires on towards Tendek, who gloves it and drops it immediately before the whistle could blow. Allen skies one angle left. Puck into the Grizzly zone. Left point collected by Malik Johnson. First time he's played this season. 5'11", 192 pounds. Now behind Utah's net. It looks like the puck ends up out of play. 16:14 left in the third. And it draws going to be the Grizzly zone as Malik Johnson talking things over with Colby McCauley. And Braden Simmons-Fisher communicating with Colby McCauley. For Malik Johnson, it's his first game as an American. He spent 6 games last year with the South Carolina Stingrays. Ricketts will take the draw against Colby McCauley, who scored Allen's first goal tonight. It was 4:20 into the first period. McCauley also has some time in the American Hockey League with the San Jose Barracuda. Draw one by Utah as Felton floats it into the American zone. Now Allen back to center ice. Americans towards the left wing, 3-on-4. They center it. A Grizzly goes down. Now Morrison, lefty shot, saved by Wells. Arm is raised by the referee. Cross-checking is going to be the call, and who's it on? Looks like there's a Grizzly skating towards the penalty box. Now Ricketts veers back off, and it's going to be an Allen penalty. So Grizzlies get a power play. As Malik Johnson, we just talked about him, the former South Carolina Stingray, shakes his head back and forth. He gets a cross-checking minor as he knocked down. Well, it looked like one of those calls. He just knocked down a Grizzly. Kind of an innocent-looking play, but the call was made. So it's Utah's third power play of the night. Johnson will sit for 2 minutes. Manning will take the face-off. He's out there with Webster, Ricketts, and we believe Shea and Hanson Bukata are off the screen. Manning crouches down low. He's taken a ton of face-offs to Spencer Asachuk over the last 9 days. Draw one by the Grizzlies, but it goes off the stick of Neil Shea. He'll skate back into the Grizzly zone as Utah will set up shop. Hanson Bukata over to Shea, who gets across center ice. Shea in the left wing. Skates over the offense line, gets around one American, and he'll spin the puck along the boards towards the right side for Manning. Across, Ricketts back to Shea, up top. Ricketts over to Hanson Bukata in the high slot. He'll pedal towards his left and get to Webster just outside the right circle. Webster behind his back to Hanson Bukata. Over to Shea, left circle, lefty shot. It's the crossbar and goes out. Iron unkind as Webster towards the right side. I try to get to Ricketts. It glanced off an American stick. Allen ahead towards Braden Watts, and he'll helicopter it over Hanson Bukata's head as the puck will slide towards Dylan Wells, who drops behind him for Hanson Bukata. 50 seconds into the power play. Hanson Bukata will guide it towards his left as the Grizzlies start filtering players on and off. A Grizzly player gets knocked down, and it's touched up by Allen. Let's see. There was a Grizzly player that was hit up high. That was, I believe, Timofeyev. So it looks like it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for minute 2. As a Grizzly went down after dumping the puck in, chasing after it. And so going to the box is Thomas Caron. He can't believe it. As he puts both palms in the air, he shakes his head back and forth. He's going to serve 2 minutes. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for the Grizzlies for 1 minute and 2 seconds. You almost have a feeling that if Utah wants to climb back into this game, they're going to have to find a way to convert on the 5-on-3. Asachuk over the years has taken a lot of the big face-offs for the Americans, and this one appears to be no different. 2 defensemen on the ice for the Americans, Asachuk, Anania, and Sam Sedley. Manning will take the face-off. Ricketts is out there as well as Reed Webster, and we believe Shea and Hanson Bukata as well. Draw one by Utah as Webster gets up top to Shea in the left point. Across to Hanson Bukata. Now back up top to Shea. Lights must not be very good in Allen as we see shadows on players. As Shea over to Webster. Webster curls it back to Shea, who directs it to Hanson Bukata right side. Hanson Bukata switches places with Shea. AHB over to Shea, just inside the right circle over to Hanson Bukata. Now Webster gets the puck. He skates towards the left wing. Now he veers off to his right. Webster skates down the middle of the ice. He'll take a righty shot that goes wide as he missed the net glove side on Tendek. Hanson Bukata over to Webster with some momentum. Back to the near goal line for Shea. Lefty shot that's blocked away by Tendek. Allen skates towards the right corner. Anania gets bounced to the wall. Hanson Bukata over to the left wing. Righty shot, and that's blocked. Now down the middle of the ice. Ricketts, lefty shot, saved by Tendek. Now puck behind the net for Shea. He'll tap it to Manning. 8 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Manning over in the high slot. He takes a lefty shot, and he misses wide. Puck ricochets off the glass. Coming out of the box is Malik Johnson. Now Shea, right side, lefty shot, saved by Tendek. Everybody hacking away. Now the whistle blows. And somebody's going after Ricketts up high, and that was Johnson, who just came out of the box. Is Johnson going to go back in? 5-on-4 for the next 53 seconds. As play had stopped. Boy, some good looks for the Grizzlies. Ricketts had a good look. Tendek made the save. And the puck was brushed towards the left corner as they show the replay. Well, Utah moved the puck around pretty well. They had plenty of offensive zone time, just couldn't find a way to get one past Tendek. And then Manning had one that was blocked away by Tendek as they continued to show the replay. Kind of an extended replay. And then Shea from the right side, Tendek with another save as they're continuing to show the replay. As Utah made a line change, we're skating 5-on-4. Somebody off the screen took a shot from the left side. Tendek makes a save, and he collects it and holds on with 13:46 left in the third. Draw's going to come into the left circle. As Allen will switch some players on and off. Christian Felton talking things over with Timofeyev and Genev. Even with the replay, they failed to show who took the shot from the left side that Tendek made a routine save on. Drives over the left side. You have to have fun with these remote broadcasts. Otherwise, you're just going to drive yourself nuts. Grizzlies have the puck over on the left side. They get it to the corner. Warmoth gets there before Ness. Throws it up top but not out. Now Felton gets it in the left point. He'll skeet towards his right. He'll get to Genev. One-timer off of Ness. Now Ness will bounce it off of Tendek. Shot and a score! Griffin Ness gets his 5th of the year. It's a power play goal, and Utah's cut into the lead. It's now a 4-2 game. Genev took the shot. It bounced off of Tendek. Then Ness got the rebound, and he fired it off the backside of Tendek and in the back of the net. So Griffin Ness with a goal, and Danny Genev should get his 2nd assist of the game. That should be a multiple-point game for Griffin Ness with 1 goal and 1 assist. Genev with his 2nd assist, and the Grizzlies get on the board with 13:30 left in the 3rd. So we'll see if that carries on a little bit of momentum for maybe a comeback bid. As Allen taking a little bit of time before this next faceoff for Griffin Ness, 1 goal and 1 assist. That is his 3rd multiple-point game this season. For Danny Genev with 2 assists, that will be his 2nd multiple-point game this year, or his 4th, as Genev broke a tie with Tyler Gratton. Both those guys had 3 multiple-point games coming into play tonight. Genev now has 4, and he's been an outstanding performer all year. We'll get some of the other details of the Grizzlies' goal here during the next whistle. As Allen has the puck in their own zone. It's a 4-2 game. Utah now has a power play goal in 11 of their last 14 games. As Americans out towards center ice. It goes past McCauley all the way towards Wells, who covers up out of his crease. 12:58 left in the 3rd. Utah's cut into the lead. It's a 4-2 game as Ness scored 6:30 in, with Genev and Felton getting the assists. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Griffin Ness gets his 3rd multiple-point game this season. Danny Genev with his 4th. More hockey in a moment.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
2 forwards have really stood out with their effort over the last couple of games, Danny Genev and Griffin Ness. Genev leads Utah with 4 multiple-point games. He's got 2 assists tonight, and Griffin Ness with 1 goal and 1 assist. It's a 4-2 game. Allen's in front, and the Grizzlies, they lost by 4-2 scores in the first 2 games over at Maverick Center, and that was on November 26th and 28th. So draws in the Grizzlies zone. Utah has outshot Allen 12-0 in the 3rd period, as the Grizzlies have a strong shot advantage of 39-24. The Americans back towards the left goal line, dancing around. Hargrove fired towards the net, and it curled off the side of the cage, near side as Neil Shea zips one angle right, but it's picked off by Colton Hargrove. Hargrove, a longtime pro, skates around Tendek's net. Hargrove down the middle of the ice over skates. Now he gets it back and will push it about 30 feet onto Felton's stick. Felton with an assist on that power play goal. He now has 4 helpers on the season. Shade to the right side. He gets rammed into by an American. As puck towards the right side, Felton along the wall. As he tries to break free, gets knifed away. Now Felton gets it back. Skates towards a high slot. Fires a righty shot. Saved by Tendek. Grizzlies get thrown towards the backboards. Webster gets spun around. And the Americans, Colton Hargrove will nudge it ahead. Grizzlies back defensively. Americans skate in 3-on-3. McCauley over to the right side. Righty shot saved by Wells. Rebound gets kicked towards the left wing wall. Grizzlies skate from left to right here in the period. Webster will throw it across towards the Grizzlies bench. Now Webster gets it at the Allen line, right wing, to the middle of the ice off of Ricketts' stick. Less than 12 minutes left in the third period. As the Americans moving back to center ice, Grizzlies back in control. And zips it around the wall. Grizzly gets nudged in the back, and that was Barbashev who loses his balance. He gets on two knees, now back to his feet. Ricketts towards the left corner, dancing around. He'll backhand it up top. Grizzlies fired towards the net, and a score! Hanson Bukata fired towards the net. I don't know if I got redirected, but it's now a 4-3 game. Boy, Filion was out in front of the net, and Hanson Bukata, I think, took the shot from the left point. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Filion getting his second pro goal or if it's Hanson Bukata's first. They're going to have to take a look at the off-ice officials, but 2 goals in about 2 minutes for the Grizzlies, and it's now a 4-3 game. So what a comeback bid the Grizzlies are putting forth here in the third frame. Griffin Ness scored 6:30 in, and the Grizzlies get back on the board a couple minutes later. We'll see if we can get the details on the goal in a little bit. Grizzlies back in their own zone. Timofeyev with a one-time tap towards Ness. Ness in the left point holds on to keep everybody entertained. Timofeyev towards the middle of the ice. Now the Grizzlies have a tap off their stick. Allen crosses center ice. Cron left wing dumps it in. He slithers his way around Hanson Bukata. Wells behind his net will throw it to the far side. Now ahead, Grizzlies cross center ice. Timofeyev over the offensive line, skates down the middle. Righty shot blocker saved by Tendek. Now down the middle of the ice. Ness shovels and swings and misses. Geneyev lefty shot saved by Tendek. Now the puck bounces towards the near wing wall. Geneyev throws it to the corner. Ness chases after it. Gildon spins around. Griffin Ness keeps control, and Allen will tattoo it off the boards. Kabori Dunn hustles after a loose puck in the Grizzlies zone. He'll slice one angle right as Geneyev dumps it into the corner. Gillette delivers a push on an American. As Friesen in the area gets engulfed by Hargrove. They gave the goal to Filion. Hanson Bukata and Ricketts with the assist. It's Filion's second as a pro. The Americans slice it deep into the Grizzlies zone. Kabori Dunn falls down as he was battling with Caddick. Now Utah throws a screen on Caddick. 2-on-2 battle over in the far corner of the Grizzlies zone. About halfway through the third period. Now there's less than 10 minutes left in the third. Anania, left side, fires towards the net, saved by Wells, and he dives to the near goal line to cover up. The puck's still loose. Now Wells covers up as Caddick saw the loose puck. And now we get some real pushing and shoving. The two number 92s collide. McCauley got real physical with Barbashev. Well, McCauley was certainly flirting with getting a penalty there. But nevertheless, it's 4-3. We're going to skate 5-on-5, and the draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. 2 goals for the Grizzlies in the span of 2 minutes and 1 second. Ness scored 6:30 in on a power play with Geneyev and Felton getting the assist. And then 8:31 in, Christoph Filion gets his second of the year. Hanson Bukata and Ricketts with the assists. More hockey in a moment.
Maverick's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Grisby commutes to work by riding UTA. It gives him time to make friends and relax before arriving to the Maverick Center. But how can Grisby keep enjoying that feeling throughout the entire day? An idea! Utah Transit Authority, proud sponsors of the Utah Grizzlies.
With Filion getting a second of the year, Aiden Hanson Bukata with his 10th assist. He is now tied with Geneyev. Actually, would have been tied for Geneyev, but Geneyev's got 2 assists tonight and 11 on the season. Hanson Bukata is the first Grizzly defenseman with double digits in assists. He now has 10. And Jack Ricketts extends his point-scoring streak to 6 straight. He got the secondary assist on the Filion goal. Ricketts now has 8 goals and 8 assists on the season. Faceoffs in the Grizzlies zone, left circle. Manning will take it for the Grizzlies against Spencer Asachuk. Utah has outshot Allen 16-2 in the third period and 43-26 for the contest. Allen wins the draw, but it goes back deep in their own zone as they race after it. Grizzlies skate from left to right as we attempt to see the game on Flow Sports. And now back deep in the Grizzlies zone. Zenz gets spun around. And the Grizzlies down the middle of the ice race out towards center. Manning chips it in onto Tendek, who will cover up, and the Grizzlies will get an offensive zone draw with 9:29 left in the third. So another high shot game for the Grizzlies. Utah last Saturday, the 3-2 victory at Maverick Center, where Reed Lepster got the game winner. They outshot Allen 45-22. A Wednesday morning over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center, Utah outshot Allen 47-25. And today it's a 43-26 edge in the shot count for the Grizzlies. Manning will take the face-off against Spencer Asachuk. They've done that time and time again here over the last week and a half. Shea and Lepster on the ice. Utah wins the face-off. Weinstein moves towards the left circle, glanced off a stick. Lepster cycles it back in deep as Manning behind the net. Wraparound shot saved by Tendek, and he holds on with 9:17 left in the third. So now, not only do the Grizzlies get the 2 third-period goals, but they maintain some offensive zone time afterwards. So it's interesting. Both teams are scoring in bunches. Allen scored 3 goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Steve Martinson was talking with Matt Register, the Allen Brain Trust. And then the Grizzlies with 2 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 1 second. And the Grizzlies have built a little bit of momentum, as they've had a lot of offensive zone time here recently. Allen gets the puck, and they will slice one diagonally, angle left. It goes off of McCauley's stick, no icing. Grizzlies come up with the puck as they spread the ice. Colby Enns walks down the middle of the ice, now gets to Manning across center ice. Manning tries to split a double team, now drops it to Shea, right side, shot saved by Tendek. Rebound goes towards the far circle. Now up top, Hanson Buchanan fires towards the net, and it kicks off a Tendek, flies high into the air, and bounces in the left circle. As Caddick gets a basketball screen from a teammate, he'll move it to Hargrove, who veers off to his left point. Lefty shot, glove saved by Wells. He gloves it and holds on with 8:40 left in the third. So faceoff's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Good hard-working shift by the forward line of Manning, Shea, and Lepster. As Danny Caddick shakes his head back and forth. Both teams will switch up skaters. Luckily for both clubs, they were able to have yesterday off, and with Wednesday being a morning game, almost acts as a half day off as well, as they didn't play past, I'd say, around, noon, maybe 12:30. As the Americans win the draw, they'll roll it along the boards towards the right side. Filion chasing after it, so is Felton. As the puck goes behind Utah's net, Grizzlies will backhand it to Barbashev. So he'll skate back towards the near goal line. Barbashev with a cross-country pass. That one goes incomplete. Allen races after it, and icing is on Utah with 8:20 left in the third. So draw's going to come back towards Dylan Wells. 5th of 6 straight meetings between the clubs, and you can see the chess game going on between both coaches. And really, both teams know the strengths and weaknesses of the other so well that really it's almost a cat and mouse game that both teams are playing. Both teams kind of have to make adjustments on the fly. As they showcase the Allen bench, they're kind of in full conversation. Draw one by Utah. Weinstein rolls it around his net. Puck goes to the right point, run down by the Americans. They fire towards Wells, and it's kicked away, and it flies out of play with 8:11 left in the third. Same teams tomorrow night. 6:10 face-off in the Mountain Time Zone. Then the Grizzlies come home for a 3-game set against the Atlanta Gladiators. That's going to be a Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday series, December 10th, 12th, and 13th. Don't forget the Grizzlies' final teddy bear toss will be on Saturday, December 13th. That's going to be 8 days from now. Get your tickets at UtahGrizzlies.com, and make sure to bring a ton of teddy bears and stuffed animals to throw on the ice after Utah's first goal. Felton has it. He stops behind Wells' net as the Grizzlies won the face-off. About 8 minutes left on a moving clock, third period. Felton blue line to blue line feed. Goes wide of Filion. Now bounces off a couple sticks. Barbashev will drop it for Weinstein. Left point. He fires towards the net wide. Behind Allen's net. Ricketts tries to shield Allen from the puck, but the Americans took it away. Big time hit delivered on the right side as the Grizzlies. I think that was Barbashev, and the Americans iced the puck. A big hit by a Grizzly over in the near corner. And so Utah will switch up skaters, and Allen's going to have an extended shift. Grizzlies are really putting the pressure on the Americans as Allen's got some players with sticks on knees, and they're trying to find a way to catch as much air as they can. Grizzlies here in the third period have outshot Allen 21-2. Grizzlies have 21 shots. Allen has 2 here in the third period. Utah's up to 48 here for the game. Grizzlies are 6 in shots on goal per game this season. Allen ices the puck again. And so another offensive zone draw. The Grizzlies once again have the Americans on their heels. Utah with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen tonight. Avery Winslow trying to round himself back into game shape. We've seen him kind of mixed in and out with Kabori Dunn on occasion. So those guys, for the most part, have been lined up with Luke Salem. Draw won by the Americans, and they will sky it once again. Is it going to be icing? Yeah, you bet. 7:20 left in the third, although it must not be because Allen's able to make a line change. So the draw is going to be in the Grizzlies zone, but it must not be icing. It must have bounced off the glass and gone out of play. As Allen's able to switch up skaters. Unfortunately, we can only see so much with this remote feed. Ananias on the ice for the Americans. Second-year pro. He played with Savannah last year. 22 years old, out of Richmond Hill, Ontario. Grizzlies won the draw. Anania pins a Grizzly towards the wall. Genev looks nearby as Allen comes out with the puck. The Americans will carry the puck out to center ice. Now they'll slice one angle left. Braden Watt steps over the offensive line, and he'll cycle it back around towards the left corner. Asachuk gets thrown by a Grizzly. Utah takes the puck. They're back behind their own net, skating from left to right. Utah rings it off the boards. Asachuk keeps it in left point as he'll chip it into the right wing. Salem shadows Blaisdell as Allen back up top, right side, righty shot, and a score. Well, I don't know if it got redirected out in front of Grizzlies laying in the crease, and the Americans get some much-needed insurance with 6:43 left in the third. They show the replay. Watts got it up top, and then we really didn't get much of a look after that. So we're not sure if it got redirected or if it just cleanly got past Wells. There's a Grizzly that got knocked down in front of the crease. So we're not sure if it was the score from the point or if it was a redirection, but either way, well, just as you thought the Grizzlies had Allen on their heels, they had outshot him 21-2 in the third period. The Americans come back and get a huge goal on their side. Americans 5, Grizzlies 3. We'll see if we can get the detail on the Allen goal. As back behind the net, Aiden Hansen-Buchanan, 10 assists on the season, including one tonight. He'll feed it ahead about 10 feet, and the Grizzlies backhanded in deep into the Allen zone. Puck towards the near corner. As Evan Friesen, he's towards the right side. Now he'll skip it back in deep towards the right corner from the point. As a Grizzly goes down, Filion and Ricketts are in the area. Allen will race out to center ice. Americans Colton Hargrove. He'll bounce one on to Wells, who cuts it up in front of the crease as Ricketts collided with an American who tried to collect the centering pass out in front. Utah holds on with 6:02 left in the third. Draw's going to be in the Grizzly zone left circle. They gave the goal to Spencer Asachuk. He was out in front of the net, so they say that he redirected it. The shot from the right point was taken by Braden Simmons-Fisher. He will get an assist, and Braden Watts will also get an assist. Watts has 1 goal and 1 assist tonight. Spencer Asachuk is a +2 and has 1 goal. Unfortunately, the replay wasn't very good that we got. It wasn't really shown live, but they say that Asachuk redirected the Simmons-Fisher shot out in front of the net as Asachuk was standing in front of the crease. Manning has it. The Grizzlies put together a good comeback bid, but that insurance goal was a huge one as the Grizzlies had Allen on their heels, and just like that, it's a 2-goal game. Grizzlies have had to spend a ton of energy trying to climb back into this one. Left side, Karan one-timer goes wide as he missed the net stick side on Wells. Puck towards the far corner as Asachuk pushes a Grizzly. Utah's in control of the puck. They'll tattoo it off the near wing boards. Puck is banked towards Allen. Has taken it is Sam Sedley. He will skate towards the left corner on kind of a horizontal angle. Now the Grizzlies, Reed Lebster dumps it in towards the right corner. He gets blasted along the boards by Thomas Karan. Behind Allen's net, puck goes towards Lebster. He'll chip it up top. Right point. Ends, fires towards the net. It's blocked. Allen will sweep it back to neutral ice, and it goes past ends all the way down for an icing. 4:58 left in the third. Grizzlies will have an offensive zone draw. You can start to see some sticks on knees on the Grizzlies side. Boy, they put together a comeback bid there, scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes and 1 second. Ness scored 6:30 in, and then Filion redirected a Hanson Bukata shot 8:31 in, but Spencer Asachuk gave Allen a 5-3 lead. He scored 13-17 in with Simmons, Fisher, and Watts getting the assists. Shot count has certainly been nuts here so far tonight. Grizzlies have outshot Allen 21-4 in the third period and 48-28 for the contest. Puck and neutral ice. Grizzlies will drop a friends, but is behind him. Ends gets off the boards. He fires a righty shot, and that's blocked away by Tendek. As Allen gets the puck, a little diagonal pass angle right. The Americans will bank one in. As Ends will swing it around the wall. Barbashev gets it at the Utah line. He'll push it to the middle of the ice. Grizzlies cross center ice. Stepping over the offensive line was Hanson Bukata. He's over to the left side, slices one across the crease. As dancing around over the right point is a Grizzly. They try to get to Barbashev, but its tap stays in play. As Gildon hits the ice, puck off of Cronin to the Utah line. Felton runs it down. As Felton will race towards his right, he's an outstanding skater. Now he moves, falls down, gets back to his feet, and the whistle blows. 4:05 is left in the third. Allen leads 5-3. We'll come back in 1 minute and find out how this one ends on the other side. You're listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Every new day is a chance to be kinder to your body and your mind. U of U Health is here to help you build strength and confidence every day. Let us help you be a better you. U of U Health, official health partner for the Utah Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, Utes Athletics, and the Utah Grizzlies. Take the first step today at uofuhealth.org.
We're 20, and yeah, we're celebrating big. Because in 20 years, we didn't just make the gear, we made hockey cooler. They said we were too loud, too flashy, too different. They told us to tone it down. The Warriors don't tone it down, we go full throttle. And this is just the start. 20 years in and we're just getting warmed up. We're still the brand that makes the gear you can win in, chirping, and partying. And if you thought we were bold before, just wait. The next 20 years start now.
On the 5th straight game between the Grizzlies and the Americans, Allen leads 5-3. If you joined us late, Colby McCauley gave the Americans a 1-0 lead. He scored 4:20 in. Grizzlies tied it up as Colby N scored from the right circle, 16:29 in. That's his second goal in 3 games. Score was tied at 1 after 1 period. Allen scored 3 unanswered second period goals in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Thomas Cron, Troy Murray, and Braden Watts each found the back of the net. Utah climbed back into it as they got a power play goal from Griffin Ness 6:30 in, and then 2 minutes, 1 second later, it was Christoph Filion scoring his second of the year, redirecting a Hanson Bukata shot that made it a 4-3 game. And then Asachuk got a big insurance goal, redirecting a Braden Simmons-Fisher shot. Watts got an assist, 13-17 in. It's a 5-3 Allen lead as the Grizzlies are looking for a comeback bid. Wells is still in net as the Grizzlies get to Timofeyev. He'll race towards the center red line, across the center red line, and he'll helicopter it in. Ness chases after it. Ness delivers a push on an American. Genev will throw Anania towards the wall. So puck slides towards the Utah line. Foot race. Caddick gets cut off by Felton. And now towards the left corner as Felton one-hands it behind Utah's net. Ness in the area. He's played a strong game. Ness with 1 goal and 1 assist. He now has 3 multiple-point games this season. Genev with 2 assists. He now leads the Grizzlies with 4 multiple-point games. Allen back deep in their own zone. They'll feed one angle right. They're still in their own end. Turnover. Grizzlies drop it down the middle of the ice. Lefty shot by Freese and saved by Tendek, and the Americans clear it all the way out. And it looks like it's going to be icing on Allen as Salem hustles after it with 2:56 left in the third. Grizzlies in the third period have outshot the Americans 22, make that 23-4. Utah's taken 50 shots. Allen has 28. David Tendek on the Allen side. He looks like a tired goaltender. He has saved 47 of 50. Dylan Wells on the Utah side has saved 23 of 28. Grizzlies 1 for 4 on the power play. Allen is 0 for 3. So now the Grizzlies are talking things over. I wonder if off the screen, if Wells is coming off for an extra attacker. We're probably a minute away from that, but with the Grizzlies down 2, they're going to have to find a way to be aggressive. Draw one by Allen. It looks like there's still just 5 on the ice for the Grizzlies in terms of skaters as Utah dances around. Now it looks like 6 on the offensive zone for Utah. Wells' net's empty as Wells skates to the bench. Smoke him if you got him. Grizzlies are looking for a comeback. Utah feeds up top. Lebster, 9 goals this season, fires towards the net. Saved by Tendek. Rebound goes to Allen. They fire to the empty net, and it's a score as the Americans get a goal from Quinn Warmoth. He fired it about 180 feet. They never showed the progress of the puck, but he fired it past the empty net. He gets his first goal of the year, and it's a 6-3 Allen lead. And with that, the lights go flickering on and off, and the fans chant red, red, as they do after every Allen home goal. So Allen leads 6-3 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third. Quinn Warmoth had 7 goals in 55 games with the Americans during the 2022-23 season. Back to live action. As pucks towards the far corner. Looks like there's just 5 in the offensive zone for the Grizzlies, so Wells is back in net. As Dunn gets punched in the back once and twice by an American. Puck stays along the boards as Cron holds his ground. Gillette in the area. Winslow. Friesen. Puck stays along the boards. Now it squirts out. A Grizzly gets belted as they're skating towards the left circle. Americans' Thomas Cron gets it knifed away as he gets cut off, and he challenges with the Grizzly at the Americans' line. Now both teams will switch up skaters. The Grizzlies dump it in. Americans, rink-wide feed, angle left. Somebody off the screen gets it. As Cron, who's been a little bit more quiet tonight, been a very balanced attack by the Americans. Kabori Dunn tried to nudge it ahead towards Ness. Ness gets it taken away on the back chuck. Puck off of Kabori Dunn. Dunn gains center ice, and he'll drive it in. Decker behind Allen's net. Flings along the far wing wall. 1:16 on a moving clock, third period. Crone left wing at center ice, dumps it in as Wells plays behind his net. Just a tough one for the Grizzlies, and it was really that 3.5-minute stretch in the second period where Allen scored 3 goals. That was probably the difference in the game. As Allen led 4-1 after 2 periods, Grizzlies put together a comeback bid. Goals 2 minutes and 1 second apart from Ness and Filion. As the Grizzlies dumped it in, looks like they're called for icing. 55 seconds left in the third. Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone. Warmoth's goal on an empty net 17:30 in was assisted by the goaltender, David Tendek. So Tendek's just a goal and a fight away from a Gordie Howe hat trick. And the fact that he's saved at least 47 here so far tonight. Off the draw, left wing shot. Saved by Wells as he sprawled towards his right. Now there's 52.2 seconds left in regulation. Grizzlies have outshot the Americans 24-5 in the third period. The only thing that matters is both teams have 2 goals in the final regulation frame. Grizzlies 9 shots in the first, 18 in the second, and 24 in the third. Allen 10 shots in the first, 14 in the second, and 5 in the third. The Americans with 5 goals on 29 shots. Grizzlies off Manning's stick as he was trying to skate into the Allen zone. Americans play a game of keep away in their own end. 36 seconds left. They'll push it ahead. Wells will kick it towards the left corner. Grizzlies skate from left to right. Winslow gets a rough ride along the boards from Malik Johnson. Grizzlies cross center ice. Geneva and Ness certainly played with the strong hustle as Manning fired towards the net, trying to get a second chance, and he got held up by Warmoth. 16 seconds left. Americans cross center ice. Blaisdell glances towards his right, splits a double team, skates in. Lefty shot, kick saved by Wells. 8 seconds left. The Americans get back to the middle. Blaisdell swings and misses. Allen will take a lefty shot, saved by Wells. 2 seconds left. Puck towards the left right corner, and that will do it. Allen wins 6-3 as they got a very balanced attack. Quinn Warmoth had 1 goal and 1 assist. Harrison Blaisdell had 2 assists. Braden Watts had 1 goal and 1 assist. And David Tendek, he saved 48 of 51. And even though the Grizzlies outshot the Americans 51-32, Utah got goals from Colby Enns, Griffin Ness, and Christoph Filion. It's the Americans with the 3-goal victory. Allen has now won 4 of the 5 games in this extended 6-game, 2-city series. Let's see if the Grizzlies can pick up a victory tomorrow and salvage the 3rd and final game of the Texas portion of this extended set, as the Allen Americans thank their fans for attending tonight's game. And it was a pretty good crowd over at Credit Union Texas Event Center. 5,780 is the announced attendance. Post-game show starts in 30 seconds. Once again, the final, the Allen Americans 6 and the Utah Grizzlies 3. This is the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back to Utah Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting, hanging out just outside the Grizzlies team store at Maverick Center, where the Grizzlies put together a comeback bid. The Allen Americans, you talked about the play of the game. It had to be the insurance goal that Spencer Asachuk scored, redirecting a Braden Simmons-Fisher shot, and that was 13-17 into the third. And we're talking about another turning point. It was really the 3 goals that Allen scored in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds, turning a 1-1 tie into a 4-1 Allen lead. Both teams had 1 goal in the first period. Colby McCauley got his 3rd of the year with Morrison and Caddick getting the assist. That was 4:20 into the first. Then the Grizzlies really played some good hockey in the second half of the first period. They were a perfect 3 for 3 on the penalty kill, and it was really the 3 successful penalty kills that really jump-started things for the Grizzlies. Danny Genev and Griffin Ness assisted on Colby Enns' goal, 16:29 in. Enns now has 2 goals in 3 games. For Danny Genev and Griffin Ness, they were 2 of Utah's hardworking forwards in tonight's game. They both played outstanding, and they both had a multiple-point game. Allen outshot Utah 10-9 in the first period, and the score was tied after 1 frame, and the Grizzlies really felt good heading into the first intermission locker room. The first 13 minutes of the second period, you kind of can call them a stalemate. You know, both teams were able to get good looks. Luke Manning had a couple of good shots. He had a backhand attempt that I thought was going to get past Tendek. But then the Americans scored 13:47 in as Thomas Cron got his 3rd of the year. Crone and Decker picked up the assists. And then just over 2 minutes later, 15:48 in, Troy Murray with his first ECHL goal. Harrison Blaisdell with an assist. And then Allen scored 17:05 in as Watts got his 7th of the year. Blaisdell and Warmoth with the assists. And just like that, what was a 1-1 game, things just kind of trickled and got away from the Grizzlies for about a 4-minute stretch, and Allen took a 4-1 lead. In the third period, the Grizzlies got a power play, and they had a pretty extended 5-on-3 power play, as Jackson Decker got a hooking minor, 3:37 in, and then Malik Johnson got a cross-checking minor, 4:04 in. Thomas Cron with a roughing minor, 5:02 in. So Grizzlies had an extended 5-on-3. They didn't score on the 5-on-3, but Griffin Ness scored 6:30 into the third with Genev and Felton getting the assists. And for that, Griffin Ness ended the night with 1 goal and 1 assist. He got his 3rd multiple-point game of the season. And for Danny Genev, he had 2 assists. He now leads Utah with 11 on the season. And Genev now leads Utah with 4 multiple-point games. Grizzlies, 2 minutes and 1 second later, 8:31 in, scored as Christoph Filion redirected an Aiden Hansen-Bukata shot. Filion gets his 2nd goal of the year. And Hansen-Bukata with his 10th assist, which leads all Grizzly defensemen. And Jack Ricketts also picked up an assist to extend his point-scoring streak to 6 straight. Ricketts now has 8 goals and 8 assists on the season. So Utah really had Allen on their heels. It was a 4-3 game. Grizzlies, the next couple shifts, really kept the momentum. And it really felt like Utah had Allen on their heels. The Americans were icing the puck frequently. But then the Americans got a huge insurance goal, 13-17 into the third, as Braden Watts got it to Braden Simmons-Fisher in the right point. And there was some traffic out in front. We didn't get really a good look at it at all. But Simmons-Fisher fired towards the net. A Grizzly got knocked down in front of the crease. And based on the details of the goal, Asachuk redirected the Simmons-Fisher shot. That was 13-17 into the third. And just like that, it just kind of felt like all the momentum and all the hopes that the Grizzlies had just kind of trickled and fell away with it. It stayed a 5-3 game until Quinn Warmoth scored from about 180 feet away on an empty net. David Tendek, the goaltender, picked up an assist. So Tendek just ended the night a goal and a fight away from a goalie Gordie Howe hat trick. Tendek saved 48 of 51. As he gets the victory, Tendek's record goes to 3-3. It's his second win as an Allen American, as he won one game earlier this season with the Florida Everblades. Dylan Wells gets the loss. His record falls to 4-5-2. He saved 27 of 32. Utah was 1 for 4 on the power play. They now have a power play goal in 11 of their last 14 games. Allen was 0 for 3 on the power plays. The Grizzlies had a perfect penalty kill night. All 3 of Allen's power plays came in the first period. Let's go over the 3 stars of the game. Third star is Griffin Ness, who had a 2-point effort, 1 goal and 1 assist. He also had 3 shots. Ness is the third star. Second star goes to Troy Murray, who scored his first ECHL goal. Murray was a +1 and had 2 shots. He's the second star. And the number 1 star is Braden Watts, who had 1 goal and 1 assist. He was a +3 and had 3 shots. So Watts is the number 1 star. Spencer Asachuk was also a +3 and had 1 goal. Harrison Blaisdell, 2 assists and was a +3. Quinn Warmoth, who they probably picked the 3 stars before he scored the empty netter, had 1 goal, 1 assist. He was a +2. For Allen, it was a very balanced attack. Hank Crone dominated the action on Wednesday, but he just had 1 assist tonight. Just one of those that, just about everybody contributed to the Allen attack. Everybody either at a point or a positive in the plus-minus. Just one of those things that the Americans, they seem to be a tough matchup for the Grizzlies, and they certainly are maybe the biggest team the Grizzlies will face all year. Just one of those things, and Allen just seems to have, and they've got good players. The Americans, they've got some experienced guys, but it seems like with those guys who may be slowed a step or two, they've got some speed guys as well. And it's just been a tough series for the Grizzlies, as Allen is now 4-1 against Utah this season. Of the 51 shots Utah had, Luke Manning and Neil Shea each led the way with 6. 5 of Shea's 6 shots came in the third period. Shea now has 26 shots in 5 games against Allen this year. Hanson Bukata, as well as Danny Genev, had 5 shots. Genev leads the Grizzlies in shots on goal this season. He now has 69. Timofeyev and Lepster each had 4 shots. 3 shots each for Kolbiens, who had 1 goal. Friesen, Weinstein, and Ricketts each had 3 shots, and a few others with 2 and 1 shot, respectively, for the Grizzlies. For Utah, last Saturday, they salvaged the third game of the Utah portion of the extended 6-game series, and Utah is looking to salvage the third game of the extended series with the 3-game set over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. As Allen last week won they won back-to-back games by a 4-2 final. Then the Grizzlies won 3-2 on Wednesday morning over in Allen. The Americans won 3-2, and tonight it was a 6-3 final. Sometimes we say that 3 is the magic number for the Grizzlies, but that wasn't the case tonight. Utah is now 7-3 when scoring 3 or more goals. Utah was able to get to 3, but Allen with 6 goals tonight. As we mentioned before, the difference in the game really was the 3 late second period goals that the Americans scored in the span of 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Well, these teams will meet 5 more times this regular season. Tomorrow night at 6:10 over at Credit Union of Texas Event Center. Then the Grizzlies return to Texas a couple months from now. They have a 2-game set on February 20th and 21st. And then the Americans' last trip to the Salt Lake Valley will be a 2-game set in late March. Thursday, March 26th, and Sunday, March 29th. I'll just about wrap things up as we're hanging out at the Grizz Cave, and we tried to find a way to stay positive, and unfortunately with these remote feeds, we're not able to quite describe the game the way we would like, but nevertheless, we tried to have some fun and hope for a Grizzlies victory. But tonight, it's the Allen Americans that come through as they get a 6-3 victory behind really a balanced attack. Nobody had more than 2 points. It was just everybody contributed to the Allen cause. Grizzlies had some good performances in their own right. But the Americans have now won 4 of the 5 games against Utah this season. Well, we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, if not necessarily the final outcome. Once again, in 2 hours and 32 minutes and in front of a good crowd of 5,780, it was the Allen Americans defeating the Utah Grizzlies 6-3. I'm Tyson Whiting, and I'm just pursuing my dream. That's to someday get to the National Hockey League. You've been listening to the Utah Grizzlies Hockey Network. Next broadcast will be tomorrow night, 5:50 pregame show, 6:10 face-off. Good night, everybody.